Hello, salutations. What to do? Start the gamer. All follow Durag Nation. Vibes like scrub. Let's get it. And welcome to the final day of the Tokyo Game Show. I think it's the final day. If it's not, I don't care. This is the only day that I care about based on the schedule. This is at least the final day for PlayStation. This is their grand finale. We peeped the Xbox showcase the other day. It was 6 o'clock in the morning for me. We also had the Capcom showcase that day. This one's a bit more reasonable. Not uh 8 p.m. my time. We get it live. The special presentation for PlayStation is the first one is Death Stranding. That one's at 9. So I am gonna watch the other ones that I missed for PlayStation because let's be honest, I was not finna stay up that late. There was one for Silent Hill 2 and Sparking Zero. We're gonna check out. So, how's everyone doing? What's up, Capte, Eastwood? Shout out to everyone on both chats, YouTube and Twitch. American Werewolf. What's up, Isaiah? Alex, American Werewolf. What's up? What's up, Hello? What's up, Comic? Charles, Snaggy, what's up? What's up? How's everyone doing on a Saturday evening, morning, wherever you are in the world? What's up, Gabe? So, I got the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero uh showcase pulled up. So we're gonna react to that one. And then I'm going to do the Silent Hill 2 one, and we'll see how long it is. But I had a nice little convenient playlist queued up. I made my own little playlist. So I got the upcoming shows and I got the ones we missed. So Silent Hill 2, Sparking Zero, and then coming up later is Death Stranding 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and I think there's a Dynasty Warriors Origins as well. Yep, so 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Is basically this basically is running from 8 p.m. to whenever the Monster Hunter Wilds ends, maybe midnight my time. Much more reasonable than getting up at 5 a.m. for for the Xbox showcase and staying up another 4 hours or so for the Capcom showcase. But we had fun. It was a good time. Got the Incredibles bundle, yes sir. Hope you use code Durag when you were up in Fortnite getting the bundle. I'm sure for perfectly wholesome reasons and not at all too goon to Elastigirl. Stay safe in a hurricane. Yeah, I heard about the hurricane. Some people are affected. I don't think it's in my area, but yeah, if you're in the path, uh, do what you got to do to stay safe. So let's see. Oh yeah, let's get it started right now. Oh yeah, oh yeah. By the way, Insomniac did not fly to the Tokyo Game Show. They flew to another PlayStation event. I was checking with Aaron's Twitter account. I follow. He's a good follow. I like Aaron. We're on good terms. He's the community manager for Insomniac. They flew him out apparently. He got to see the special 30th anniversary edition of the PS5 Pro up close and personal. They flew Insomniac, him and some other people from Insomniac out to San Mateo for some kind of special event where they wanted to have Insomniac show off their games for the PS5 Pro. So I was watching I was looking at some pictures Aaron posted from that. Looked very cool. I know some people managed to get that 30th anniversary edition. I was not finna drop that much money. I'm hoping my contact at Sony hooks me up with the PS5 Pro because just the controller was crazy. I was on the website when orders went live for the pre-orders, And my God, just the 30th anniversary PS5 Pro controller was $200. I was like, Lord, Lord Jesus, no. What's up, Jay Shockblast in the building, my podcast partner. We got the show tomorrow, actually. Time flies. All right, let's get into this. This is Sparking Zero. Jay found a 30th anniversary gift bundle on his doorstep. Imagine. Jay doesn't have that much motion with Sony. Believe it or not. Sony guys saying you're only 14, you can't make crazy money. They want you to ask your parents. Ultra Instinct! I'm definitely running that. Yeah, Sony does not randomly leave $1,000 packages on Jay Shockblast's door. You want to play me a Sparking Zero? Whis better than MUI Goku? I mean, mechanically, yeah, obviously. Whis is an angel. Of course he could beat Master Ultra Instinct Goku. He's literally training him to learn how to use Ultra Instinct properly. He's supposed to be able to beat him. They're lucky they gave you... look back. Oh yeah, the Sony Concord team, they were looking out for Jay for sure. It's Jiren. I just gotta say the graphics on Sparking Zero look unbelievable. 1010, we're almost there. We're all lucky they took back Concord. Yeah, the Concord situation is wild. That was historic. PlayStation もっと楽しむトーク番組 PlayStation プレゼンツプレイプレイプレイ今回はここ東京ゲームショー PlayStation ブースからスペシャルライブバージョンをお届けしております本日 Jiren is the Super Saiyan Gogeta 4 Sparking Zero ありがとうございますぜひともですねステージの前の皆さんもそして配信をご覧の皆さんも一緒に盛り上がっていければなというふうに思います Ultra Instinct is OP compared to Goku ですが今回ピックアップするタイトルはこちらドラゴンボールの対戦アクションゲームの決定版として圧倒的 So we're going to have some extended gameplay of Sparking Zero here. So I think their devs are going to be demoing Sparking Zero. Gosa Yote is definitely not going to be showing up today. You haven't missed anything. So we're going to. So I missed the Sparking Zero and the Silent Hill 2 PlayStation demonstration. So we're just going to rewatch those until 9 o'clock. That's when Sony goes live for their final showcase of the entire Tokyo Game Show. Do I know Japanese? I do. I watch anime all the time with subtitles. They're introducing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. They're setting up the presentation right now. They're very excited for the game. They're going to bring up some people to demo the game, show some more gameplay, show a little bit of the modes. What time they revealing Avengers 2? 4 o'clock in the morning, so you're gonna have to stay up for a while. So What's up, Lucky? Welcome, welcome. Appreciate everyone. Make sure you smash the like button, share the stream with more people. All it takes is a like, and YouTube will be like, oh, say less, and send the stream out to more people. Make sure you do that. Subscribe and all that good stuff, so you always get notified. I think I'm doing more streams. I've been enjoying doing streams where I'm not playing a game. I like just kind of hanging out, reacting to stuff, like all the kids are doing these days. These are kind of fun. So I know what the final game will be. Dynasty Warriors Origins. Look at Silent Hill 2 Remake and Spider-Man 2 DLC.
はい、ご紹介させていただきます。まずゲーム概要になります。本作はですね、カメハメハだったり、武空術だったり、
カメハメハ
の技を駆使しながら戦う 3D 対戦アクションゲームになっています。で本作はですね、先ほどご紹介ありました通りですね、ドラゴンボール Z スパーキングメテオというですね、
Avengers 2 it's a troll.
シリーズタイトルになっていまして、この吹っ飛ばしからの
There is never going to be a Marvel's Avengers 2.
このシリーズ Ever. このアクションそのままにですね、新しいアクションが加わって。
It's just a running joke on the channel.
方々もちろん楽しんでいただければと思ってるんですけれども、さらにですね、一見映像とかご覧いただくとすごいスピード感のあるバトルで難しそうって思う。
No one will ever make a Marvel's Avengers sequel.
アシスト機能とかも入れておりまして、比較的アクションが苦手な方でもかっこいいドラゴンボールアクション決めやすくなっておりますので、そう怖がらずにプレイしていただければと思っています。
でも本当に作品のファンの方がしっかりとドラゴンボールごっこというか、
そうですね。
全力のドラゴンボールごっこをこの中で展開して
The next Avengers game would, if anything, it would be a reboot. Now, Avengers 2 would sell like 30 million copies if they did it correctly. If they did it correctly. If they got a new studio to right the wrongs of Crystal Dynamics, Avengers 2 would be great. The new Avengers game would be crazy.
幅広い方々に愛されている作品なので、もうキャラクターもどんどん増えていってるっていうところもありますもんね。そうですね。最近でもドラゴンボールスーパーまでの
Mark your words, is either PS6 or Spider-Man 2. None of those things are happening.
自分の好きなキャラクターがわあいたっていう風になってくれたら嬉しいですもんね。はい。
Avengers 2 codename Batman Ninja. Yeah, Avengers 2 is actually a crossover with DC.
本作はですね、このエピソードバトルモードというものがまずございまして、悟空やベジータなどですね、この画面の方にも出ているキャラクターたちですね、この8人のキャラクター目線で、
Jiren!
原作の物語
Yeah, I definitely gotta run some Jiren when I get Sparking Zero.
で一部のステージではですね、プレイヤーの皆様の、バトルの結果だったり選択肢に
Jiren is my guy.
原作の中では展開されていなかったようなシチュエーションに
The new Rocksteady game is secretly Avengers 2. I imagine. I really hope it's not Batman. I know Rocksteady might be tempted to be as safe as possible, but don't do it. King Greek, we play as Sparking Zero. We might have to. That might have to be the move.
少しこれまでとは違った目線で遊んでいただけるのかなというふうに思っています。
They got the tournament. Wait, they got the actual tournament of power?
はい、ぜひ遊んでいただけ
How deep is the story mode?
お願いいたします。はい、でもう一つなんですけれども、カスタムバトルモードという
We might be on the story mode for a while. Hold up, chat.
バトルを楽しんでいただけるモードになっていまして、ちょっとしたシナリオ
Because I saw the story mode had obviously the Namek saga.
条件だったりとか特殊な演出だったりとかをですね、細かく設定して
I didn't realize it went all the way up to the tournament of power. That's crazy.
30以上のバトルが用意されているというものに加えまして、本作ではこの下側ですね、エディットモードというものもありまして、自分でこのバトル自体をお作ることができるようなモードになっています。
If they're gonna do Batman, it should at least be Batman Beyond.
通している画面が出てるんですけれども、細かく自分でこういうシナリオのシーンを作れたりですとか、そのバトル中の条件ですね、今だとこのブラストが当たる当たらない、何が起きたらこういう必殺が発動するみたいなこととかをですね、細かく設定しているんですけれども、こういうことが
Call you real quick, go fill me in.
設定できるようなバトルになってまして、さらにこれを
Story of a Batman game could be ass, but because of how good the combat is, it'll still sell.
そこでちょっとコミュニケーションが取れたりね、交流があったりとかしたら嬉しいですね。
Like it's so lazy. Like DC has so many properties. I literally made a tweet about this. Like, there's so many DC properties they can turn into a really good game. And they just insist every freaking time on just milking Batman. Like, bro. Apparently, story mode of this game has a lot of what if stuff. Yeah, I remember that part, the what if stuff. I didn't realize how much lore it covered. We definitely going to be in that story mode. Spark and Zero might actually be a 10 out of 10. It might be definitely for Dragon Ball fans. Anything Batman needs a jump button. Agreed. When is Stellar Blade 2? So Stellar Blade 2 actually is in development. In addition to the DLC dropping this year, that Nier Automata crossover, they are working on a sequel, but we're like at least 3 years away. Probably 4. Why is there always a new Dragon Ball game every 1 to 2 years? So, funny enough, this is actually the first game in this series in over a decade. Spark and Zero. They haven't updated this game since I was in school. But you see a lot of Dragon Ball games because Dragon Ball is one of the most lucrative and famous IPs in the world of all time. So that's typically how that works. And it also lends itself to fighting games. So that's why you're always seeing some kind of Dragon Ball product. Anime is obviously taking longer. We finally got a new one. Not a new season super yet, but Dragon Ball Daima. But yeah, Dragon Ball is extremely popular. And they know Dragon Ball fans are going to play their games as long as they're solid. And there's pretty much one of the few anime games that consistently come out quality. Like, it's basically not, when it comes to anime games, it's basically been like Naruto and Dragon Ball. Most of the other anime games end up being pretty mid. Though I've heard good things about the Hunter x Hunter video game coming out, and the Bleach game looks pretty good. Why are there always so many movies? That one actually is a good question, and this is why they're actually scaling back. But yeah, same principle. When you succeed with something, you do more of it. But yeah, they definitely have to scale back those Marvel movies. Get some better quality out there. We're not getting Dragon Ball Super again until 2059. We got Namek, Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Trunks from Super, Cell Saga, Gohan, Super Saiyan Gohan, and Super Saiyan Gogeta 4. Elite. That looks so good. GTA 7 soon. There's a lot of PvE stuff we're used to that. It's a lot to go over. Oh, for sure. I was getting it just because, like, you know, Toriyama's gone. I'm a Dragon Ball fan. Feels like you kind of have to buy this game if you're a Dragon Ball fan. You miss anything? Who was the short stand? That was Teen Gohan from the Cell Saga. Back before he became a nerd. He's finally, you know, good again with the last movie, Beast Gohan. It was a long road. He lost pretty much all of his aura after the Cell Saga. It was pretty tragic for a while for Gohan fans. Not gonna lie. The Stellar Blade DLC doesn't have a release date when they announced it at the State of Play, but there's not that many months left in 2024. So you're not going to be waiting too long. The photo mode is going to go crazy. Give your boy Grayson a shout out. His brother's going through brain cancer, only 1 year old. Your favorite channel. Want to give him an early Christmas gift. Absolutely. Big shout out to you, big shout out to you, Grayson. That's pretty heavy, but I'm rooting for you. Everyone in Durag Nation is rooting for you. Thank you so much for letting me, just some guy talking in his room, be a part of your life. Appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have all the blessings in the world this holiday season. This is good. Yeah, this looks unbelievable. What's up, Travis? We're just watching Sparking Zero. This was the Sparking Zero Tokyo Game Show presentation from Sony. I was not finna watch this live because it came on at like 1 o'clock in the morning my time. I was like, I'll just do it on Saturday because I'm like, I was gonna stream the Death Stranding 2 presentation anyway. So I'm like, I might as well just catch up on the stuff that I missed while I'm waiting. So I was not trying to stay up again. What's up, Eric? You're good now. We're just watching the Sparking Zero presentation from PlayStation at the Tokyo Game Show. 9 o'clock. We're going to catch the Death Stranding presentation. They're doing a Death Stranding 2 special presentation for the Tokyo Game Show. And then after Death Stranding 2 is Monster Hunter Wilds. We'll also watch a little Silent Hill 2. We could all be happy that Super Saiyan 4 all of the versions. Actually, I wouldn't go that far. I'll give you Super Saiyan 4 is cooler than like the Super Saiyan Blue forms and Super Saiyan God. I think Ultra Instinct Sign and Master Ultra Instinct are just way cooler than Super Saiyan 4. Completely clears. Ultra Ego clears. Yeah, Ultra Ego Vegeta definitely clears Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I never really liked Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's look. I thought Goku's was really good, but I was never a fan of Vegeta's. Marvel Rivals been having showcases and not telling nobody. They were I think they were at Tokyo Game Show. They were somewhere recently. They were promoting Psylocke. We're just waiting for them to finally announce a new beta of some kind. Oh, Jiren's mad. Full power Jiren. Oh, you see the blue aura on Trunks? That looks so good. A lot of destruction in the environment as well. Love to see it. Synergy tried the last Dragon Ball game. Yeah, Batman Beyond is pretty much the only way I'm accepting. Super Saiyan 3 clears everyone. I wouldn't go that far. Super Saiyan 3 is iconic, but let's not go that far. Yeah, I don't want another Batman game unless it's Batman Beyond. Who am I going main? I don't know if I'm going to main anybody. I'm pretty much going to play Spark and Zero for fun. I'm going to play through a lot of the PvE stuff. I'm really interested in the story mode and all the what if stuff that you can do. But I'm probably going to play a lot of the super characters. I'm a big fan of, Ultra Instinct, Jiren. I want to play with the gods. So I'm just going to be bouncing around the different characters. I want to see if they add the manga characters as well for Super. Ultra Vid is crazy. Your two favorite characters is cooler. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Solid. Captain Val's going to keep this game alive for years. Oh, yeah. I was watching the content creators. There's apparently like a war going on among Dragon Ball and anime game content creators. It's pretty funny. But they're basically saying like if you're trying to come up as a anime video game creator, like you're going to be able to eat good off of Spark and Zero for years to come. But there's just a lot of small channels that are kind of like crashing out because the big channels like Afro Senju get early access to the game. Like it's really weird. It's like they don't. It's like this is their first time experiencing how content creation works in gaming. Yeah, large channels get early access to stuff. Breaking news. So what? Cope and seethe. Do better. I don't know why that was a controversy. Who cares if a content creator gets early access to the game? It literally doesn't matter. Make better content. Even if a creator gets early access, there's no guarantee that their content is going to outperform yours. Even looks good. Yeah, literally, like people who are longtime supporters of my channel, you know exactly what I did. There was a time when I was in a spot where I was a small channel, but I was getting views comparable to big channels, but I wasn't getting any opportunities in terms of early access to games and stuff. And instead of crying about it on Twitter, I just did reaction content and news and commentary and speculation stuff around the content. And I outperformed a lot of the people who got early access. So it doesn't matter how early you get your content. It matters what you do with the content. Now you're almost 130K, which is crazy. Yeah, like channel's been going crazy, especially over the last month. I appreciate all of you. Not trying to be rude, but you're just sick and tired of hearing all the whining about anything, period. Yeah, just in general, it's the internet. There's always going to be stuff to whine about. I mean, you love whining, Travis. It's one of your hobbies. It can be fun a little bit, but depending on what it is. But yeah, some people just take it too seriously. Back when I had to pay for games, facts. Imagine having to pay for games. I mean, I still have to pay for some games. I paid for Astrobot. J Shock Blast saw to come up and hit your rod. I still remember when I thought J Shock Blast was black. I literally had no idea who he was. I just knew people in chat kept asking me, do you know J Shock Blast? Do you want to come? You should collab with J Shock Blast. I literally thought you were black. I had no idea who you were. until we both were on Doom's podcast. Turns out he was only black on the inside. Very much not on the outside. I really don't think you could be white. I know. I saw when I saw you, I was like, oh, that was not correct. When Doom introduced us, I was like, I looked up at my camera. I was like, oh, what's up, brother? You're not a brother. But we did become brothers. He listens to a lot of Kendrick Lamar, so it worked out. Is Black Myth Wukong a good game to buy? I've heard it is. I mean, I've heard performance is kind of ass, but otherwise it's a really good game. Kendrick who? Yeah, Travis is not in touch with hip hop music. That's pretty epic. We got a little Vegeta. Shout out to Vegeta. Here, you're a white. Careful how you careful how you phrase that one. Stellar Blade DLC does not have a release date, but obviously photo mode is a highly requested feature that definitely needs to be in the game. So I'm glad they're adding that. And the Nier Automata crossover, I thought it was really cool when they were talking about it was something they were interested in. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they implement it. Travis loves when you talk rap. It's true. Travis is more of a Machine Gun Kelly kind of fellow. He's not really a Kendrick Lamar type. You know, get him a little Macklemore. maybe some Logic. That's more you know, Eminem, that's more his lane. 2BX Eve is going to be crazy for sure. White boy, I'm proud of it as well. Yeah. Yeah, if he didn't include the boy part, that would have been a problematic sentence. That would have been a deeply problematic sentence. All right, we got. Ooh, I love how he deflects the energy attacks. Recreating the Vegeta versus Android 18 fight from the Cell side, from the Android saga. Really depends on how if you like soul-like games, probably Black Myth. Like story-driven action. Yeah, it's kind of like because it's not a pure Souls game. So like people who play like God of War would probably enjoy Wukong. The only really thing in common it has with like Souls-like games is it has a stamina bar and a ton of different enemies. But it's definitely not nearly on the difficulty scale of some of those games. Same with the customization. What's up, King Mo? You interviewed Vanilla Ice once. It was cool. It's true. They are best friends now. It's crazy we're getting Goku Black and Jiren story modes. Yeah, I'm really excited to play out that Tournament of Power art and see what you can do with the what if stuff. Ghost 2 or Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Yeah, they both look pretty good. I'm not a huge Metal Gear guy, so obviously I was much more excited when they announced Ghost of Yotai. But Metal Gear looks pretty good as well. Might have to cop this. Yeah, Sparking Zero is going to be crazy. Like that first month of Sparking Zero is going to hit hard. What's the Superman game name? Unfortunately, there is no Superman game yet. But the closest we have right now is Undefeated. It has a sequel coming out in 2026. I streamed it like a week or two ago. Yeah, I don't think GTA is getting delayed. I think it's still dropping 2025. Now, Dragon Ball fan, even you're tempted to get this. Yeah, like it's not going to be, from what my understanding is, it's not going to be like a super crazy esports type of game. So I think which I think is going to appeal to a lot of people, that it is more casual, and then it has a lot of PvE stuff you can do. If you're not like a hardcore fighting game person, because it just looks really well made, especially if you're a fan of the series. Ever to the Wonder Woman game, still in development. It's called Sociopath Man, the Remurdering. Wonder Woman game. I've heard Wonder Woman is targeting 2025. I'm waiting for a new update officially to be announced. Probably at the Game Awards, if anything. But I'm hearing they're targeting 2025. New Infamous prototype. Agreed. Where am I watching this? In my room. My home office, specifically. If Wonder Woman is not at the Game Awards, that game is in development hell. Yeah, probably. You consider agree if there weren't a million games about to come out. You're trying to go down to New York Comic Con. Yeah, shout out to New York Comic Con. When is New York Comic Con? San Diego Comic Con is usually the big, event when stuff happens, when new stuff gets announced, but might have to tap into New York Comic Con, see what's up. Yeah, I'm very, as much as I love the Infamous games, I'm much more into Ghost. Like, I'm so glad Ghost of Yote is coming. I crashed out on stream. Like, that game looks so good. I'm so happy the rumors were true. 3 weeks, say less. 3 weeks. That means Spider-Man 2 DLC for the New York Comic Con. October was the October 20th is the anniversary. New York Comic Con Spider-Man 2 DLC reveal. Release date is their 1-year anniversary. Shout out the web loser. Not really a fan of Ghost of Yote, but you respect it. Heard of Transformers Fall Cybertron and where Cybertron supposed to be remastered. Yeah, Activision is trying to bring back some of the old Transformers and Marvel games. Those old Transformer games are really good too, so it's definitely a good decision. Love Military Solid Delta Snake Arrow, of course. You don't think they scrapped the DLC? Yeah, I don't think they did either. Think you need to polish off another playthrough Ghost of Tsushima? Always. It's always a good time to hop back into Ghost of Tsushima. Whether you want to go through the story again, or you want to jump into Legends mode. Nice to relive everything. Erika Ishii is eating this year for the voice acting, for sure. Landing the lead in Ghost in the next Ghost of Tsushima, the next Ghost of, since they're making this into a whole franchise, which I like. I love the idea of Ghost instead of just being like a predictable god, like a God of War where every game is about, Jin. It's going to be like more like an anthology series where they focus on different characters in different time periods and areas of Japan. I think that's a much cooler idea. It keeps the series fresh and gives them a lot more freedom to explore and innovate. Shout out to Assassin's Creed. They're going through it right now. Oh, did you plaque on the inside of physical? Yeah, I'm glad for the delay. I think the biggest issues that they definitely need to address over Ubisoft is the leadership. Like, first of all, they need to make less games. Like, they're trying to make way too many, and they need to definitely do an audit of the leadership to make sure these games have proper supervision and they're prioritizing quality. Because my understanding is the reason they're delaying the Assassin's Creed Shadows is because it just wasn't in a good state. It was like similarly unpolished. I've actually heard it was more unpolished than even Outlaws was in terms of bugs. So they're just taking extra time to make sure it's working properly instead of trying to fix it later. The hyperbolic time chamber level, this is so good. I gotta rewatch the Cell Saga at some point. Timmy cooks in the kitchen, nobody knows the recipe is the issue. Yeah, like, you don't need to release 5 games a year. Like, that's crazy. Like, when I saw that Ubisoft had 19,000 employees, I had to do a double take. Like, that's too much. I'm sorry. That's way too much. Having more employees than Sony's PlayStation team and Nintendo combined is unbelievable. Rip Toriyama, yes sir. Rest in power. The GOAT. Yo, Marvel Wolverine released in 2025. Yeah, I would love that. I don't think that's happening. Spark and Zero pre-order. Get the Brawlies. I definitely gotta get down with Broly. I'm definitely gonna be playing a lot of Broly and Spark and Zero. They literally just need to make less games, focus on make less games, like slow it down, focus on quality, shake up leadership, focus on their established IPs like Splinter Cell, Prince of Persia. You know, obviously keep doing Assassin's Creed. By all means, explore more licensed stuff. Like, I thought an open world Star Wars game is a great idea. Obviously, I would have preferred a Mandalorian game. I think that would have just been better. But yeah, do a Marvel game as well. Like, but like you've got good IPs. Like you got Rayman, you got Splinter Cell. Like there's a lot of stuff they could be doing, but you know, just they're trying to do too much. And they're not focusing on quality enough. How many people pre-ordered Sparking Zero? I'm probably gonna end up pre-ordering, but I was just waiting to see if Bandai Namco would send me a copy because I applied to get into their creator thing. You got the ultimate? Nice. Remember Star Wars Force Unleashed games? I do. Those are amazing. You already did? Yes, sir. Yeah, if they don't send me a copy, I'll just pre-order it. Yeah, I could technically pre-order it on the 9th, and it'll be fine. The games you want, not a lot of money. You go choose Silent Hill 2. Yeah, 2025 is gets a lot spookier. Like for me, the only games now that I'm interested in this year are Sparking Zero and Dragon Age the Veilguard. But 2025, bro, whew. So many games in 2025. So many games. Oh yeah, I might. Oh yeah, I forgot about Marvel Rivals, but that's free. Yeah, Marvel Rivals is December. Arkham Shadow, I might get. I gotta see. The MetaQuest 3 is. They have a $300 version, the 3S. So and there's a bundle of it that comes with Arkham Shadow. So I might tap into that. Sparking Zero. Oh yeah, that's right. It has the 3-day early access. So I just got a. All right, so I got into the 6th. So I'll wait until like the 6th to see if Bandai Namco is going to send me a copy, and then I'll drop my pre-order. Someone from Meta reached out. Yeah, I got a invitation to fly out to Germany for Gamescom. They were going to give me a MetaQuest 3 and let me play Arkham Shadow early and talk to the devs. Caboose ended up going, but I didn't end up going because I don't have a passport. So I'm hoping somebody reaches out as we get closer to launch, since I'm such a big superhero channel. Gamma Game would be great, yes sir. Yeah, well, I've gotten a couple offers to be flown out this year. I'm not going to cap. I've gotten a couple offers to get flown out to some places. Yeah, because I love the idea of VR, but I never end up doing anything. I just never end up doing anything with it. Maybe like the Quest 3 could change that, but I've just been waiting for like a better quality VR device before I tap in. All right, so we got 10 minutes until Death Stranding. I got my handy playlist. So while we're waiting for that, tap into a little Silent Hill 2. Yeah, the PSVR 2, I was out on that immediately. I need like a VR headset that's not connected to the PlayStation. Looks like they made some changes. They heard the backlash. She did not look like that before. I remember there was a lot of backlash over that. You think she's hot now? Yeah, they made some changes. Yeah, you missed GTA 6. They gave a half-hour gameplay demo. And God of War 6. The old version look worse than Mary Jane. Yeah, the crazy thing about GTA 6 is that you can create your own character and you can give them superpowers. It's crazy. You can like create Spider-Man and just web swing around the whole city. GTA 6 is next level, man. Yeah, Death Stranding 2 is in 8 minutes. A lot of developers should listen to their fans. Good thing. They should listen to the right fans. A lot of fans don't know what they're talking about, to be fair. But yeah, in general, you should strive. Obviously, if you're trying to make a video game for an audience, you should be trying to make a game for that audience. Crazy that DCO is still going, but there's no Marvel MMO. Yeah, like I would say WB are just letting it ride out. But they should have definitely been to the DCO sequel by now. And the Marvel MMO got canceled because development was a complete disaster. And surprisingly, no one's tried again. GTA 6 online will go crazy. Yeah, PC, I think PC players gotta wait like a year before they can get GTA 6. It's just launching on PlayStation and Xbox. A game for everyone is a game for no one. Exactly. Shout out to Helldivers 2. Did I see the leaked photos of the canceled Marvel MMO? Yeah, I was reacting to it on stream a while ago. I was in disbelief that that person was hired in the first place. Like, L scammer, I'll give them that, but holy, what were they thinking? We definitely need a Daredevil game. I think the Twisted Metal would have done well. Nostalgia's in right now. I mean, put it this way. What would have done better? A live service Twisted Metal game or Concord? Like like that's the balance we're talking about here. Like at least Twisted Metal has a built-in audience, and recently had a TV show that was very really well received. Like there would have been an audience for it. There was no audience for Concord. Ooh, a Doctor Strange game would be so good, bro. You don't even know. Like one of the reasons I love playing Control, I mean, it's just generally a great game, but Control, just looking at how Remedy made that game, it kind of made me feel like I was playing a Doctor Strange game at times. Like minus the magic, you know, like her main powers were telekinesis, but the mystery, the level design, the enemy design, the atmosphere, it felt like I was in like a dark horror magic game. It was really good. This is the Silent Hill showcase from yesterday. I think it aired. We're just waiting for the Death Stranding presentation to go live in like 3 minutes. Ghostwire Tokyo's Doctor Strange game. Kind of? Really, Immortals of Avian is the Doctor Strange game? Ghostwire Tokyo has a little bit of that vibe. But Immortals of Avian is the more direct Doctor Strange experience. You want Rocksteady to do a Superman game? Do I think it'll have more endings than the original? I'm not sure. But I think the Spider-Man 2 DLC is finished. Probably. One way or the other. What new info on the next Mass Effect? Was there info on the new Mass Effect? I'm trying to remember if I heard it. If I heard anything recently. Yeah, nothing so far. Is it worth it to buy the PS5 Pro? Depends on how much money you have. What, the guy who made Killer Bean to make Superman? Obviously, you're going to have to give him more resources. No, let the studio that made Undefeated do Superman. NDS Games. That's basically the closest we've gotten to a Superman game since Superman Returns. And that was three guys in college. Give them the license, give them a larger budget, and let them cook. All right, it's 9 o'clock. Time for Hideo Kojima. Perfect timing for that Death Stranding 2. Shout out to Hideo Kojima. This is live now. PlayStation special event. Shout out to Hideo Kojima. Undefeated, don't you talk. Still better than Clark. Never played Death Stranding, same. I appreciated how cool it looked visually, but I never tapped into the first game. It looked like a lot of walking. You love Death Stranding? I feel like Death Stranding is a game that either you think is a masterpiece or you hate it. And there's like no in between. It was a great, thank you so much. Earthworm Jim remake. Ooh, that'd be nice. That's my childhood. If, I don't know how to feel about Travis loving Death Stranding. I thought for sure Death Stranding would be a game that Travis called mid and boring. So I think Spider-Man 2 would be here. This is a Death Stranding 2 presentation. Kojima is just here. Kojima is just here to debut some Death Stranding 2 stuff. After this is Monster Hunter Wilds, and then there's Dynasty Warriors Origins. Ghost of Tsushima is my favorite game of all time. A masterpiece. I might have to play Death Stranding just to see. This is where to start. Once it picks up, it really picks up. Kojima! Kojima Sensei! No English stream. I couldn't find it. Let me see if I can find it now. I'm really just here for the trailer. Capcom has another one? Capcom has a showcase tomorrow? At the Tokyo Game Show? This is a replay. I think it's a replay. Can we see Ghost of Tsushima 2? We already saw that at the State of Play. Ghost of Yote. Oh, this trash pure and simple. Resident Evil now coming. You want to see a John Wick game? That could be interesting. It'd basically be Max Payne with martial arts. PlayStation Australia YouTube streaming. PlayStation Australia YouTube streaming. PlayStation Australia. They're not live right now. Is Kojima Productions in English? No, they're not doing it in English. Ohio? Ohio? I know what that means. I haven't watched any of the Sonic movies. I gotta catch up on all of them. I think they're doing something new with Max Payne. I don't know if it's just a remaster, but I know there's some new Max Payne stuff in development. I'm literally just here for the trailer. I can I can get the gist of what they're saying. I'm just here for the trailer. I just want to see the trailer. I watch a lot of anime, so I can get the gist of what they're talking about. So it's not a big deal for me. You're watching it right now. George Miller is probably one of the mystery characters. Monster Hunter is going to own 2025. I hope so. I mean, besides Ghost of Yotei, obviously. Actually, yeah. It's hard to say what game's going to own. Obviously, GTA 6 is a favorite to own 2025 because it's going to make the most money, assuming it doesn't get delayed. But, I mean, Ghost of Yotei looks incredible. Monster Hunter Wilds could be incredible. Crimson Desert? Don't sleep on Crimson Desert, bro. Crimson Desert could be one of the ones. Monster Hunter looks garbage. Yeah, that's an insane take. Did I hear news someone is making a very close replica of PT in Dreams? No. I have no idea what that is. Crimson Desert is fire. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, don't sleep on Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert could sneak up and be Game of the Year. I mean, Mafia Old Country could be Borderlands 4. Like, 2025 is nuts. It's actually nuts. Wow. The games that are coming out. It's unreal. Crimson Desert is a massive open world RPG action game. It's got this giant open world. It's got all the RPG mechanics of, you know, discovery, dialogue, story. But it's got really cool, flashy combat. You know, the type that you would see in like Black Myth Wukong. It looks unbelievable.
はい前作振り返っていただいてご出演されていきましたけれどもいかがだったでしょう。はい、そうですね。本当はもう5年経つんだ。
Concord Game of the Year for Fastest. Yeah, Concord's downfall will be studied. You know, GTA 6, the expectations are high as hell. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going to be kind of the same. It's going to get massively hyped, assuming nothing crazy happens. It's going to break sales records. And then once the hype dies down a little bit, people are going to start nitpicking stuff. Obviously, the PC players are going to be, you know, crashing out because they don't have access to it at launch. The usual people are going to be crying about there being a female character in the game. I mean, they already are. You know, it's going to be usual. But overall, GTA 6 is going to make obscene amounts of money. What they're saying, they're speaking Japanese. You can't be that uncultured. They're talking about how excited they are. All the stuff that went into Death Stranding 2. How, you know, great it was to work with Kojima and the other actors. You know, how much detail and work that goes into these Death Stranding games. you know, so a lot of obviously very challenging, a lot of challenges, but they, you know, they personally love their games, love work with Kojima. They think he's a genius. They can't wait for people to experience the games.
ちょっと違うんですよね、切り口があって。なので、やっぱりそれがそう新しすぎて、最初はなかなか本当にこう理解が追いつかないところもあったんですけど。
To talk about kind of the technical side, the facial capturing.
すごいなんかもうリアルになって。
You know, saying it's how it's so good.
本当になんかよりこの物語が染みたというか、そう本当に。
You should feel extremely uncultured if you don't recognize Japanese. Maybe because I'm such an anime fan, so I hear Japanese all the time. Because I watch in sub instead of dub. But yeah, I'm literally just used to hearing Japanese like all the time.
皆さん次第みたいな声優の皆さん次第みたいなとこでしたけど、ありがとうございます。よく受けていただきまして。
You're a bad nerd too, Eastwood, because you should know what Ewok sounds like. Japanese is such a dominant language. I've been trying to learn it too. I finally got Rosetta Stone. I bought the lifetime membership because it was on sale, but I haven't kept up with my lessons. Celebrate was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed it. It's okay, Eastwood. We know the truth. Your language, you have language deafness. You can only understand American.
5年が経ちまして、世の中的にも時代が変わりまして、デスストランディング2がですね、昨年末の発表以来徐々に
If you don't yell freedom at the end of every sentence, Eastwood has a hard time hearing you. Dub is hot garbage. Some dubs are hot garbage. Dubs aren't nearly as bad as they used to be. Dubs used to be just horrific. And like you only get like really good dubs on like the high-end stuff like Dragon Ball, you know, My Hero Academia. But now dubs have gotten really good. Freedom! You speak manga? Facts. What's up, Lawson? Rebirth, Astrobot, and Black Myth are the only games you like that should be contenders. Well, Rebirth and Astrobot are the current frontrunners, so you nailed those. I thought Space Marine 2 was pretty great as well. Think dub is better. I only watch dubs when I'm eating because I don't want to miss anything. So if I have a plate and I'm watching some anime, I'll just throw on a dub version, and then once I'm done eating and can lock in, I'll put the sub back on. I definitely think Resident Evil 9 is probably going to be at the Game Awards. You'll play Black with Wukong in English. Okay, coming through with a 5. If you had one shot, one opportunity, seize everything that you ever wanted. One moment. Would you capture it or let it slip? His palms are sweaty. Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on the sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous. But on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now. Everyone's choking. One of the best verses of the last 20 years.
日本語版です。
Travis, that's your hero, Eminem. What do you mean? Trash of us too. Norman Reedus. I hear he might be playing Ghost Rider. Yeah, the visuals in these games are crazy. Death Stranding 2 and Rise of Hydra have like the greatest visuals I've like seen when it comes to trailers. Those beat by battles are great. Tarman, George Miller, special appearance. Shout out to George Miller. Is that a black cat with wings? George Miller in the building. What do I think the gameplay in Rise of Hydra will be like? So fragile, Leia Sadot. Hopefully superhero-like. There's combat in the story trailer, but it doesn't look smooth and flashy, sharp like I would want it. It looked a little floaty. So I want to see like the actual gameplay. And hope that it's, like it looks like a good action RPG, which you come to expect. You love Death Stranding? The coach was on drugs, no question. I mean, when you're a genius, it's hard to comprehend, the stuff that goes through their mind. There's a very good chance he's sober. Geniuses just think differently. A Ghost series, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't call Ghost the Assassin's Creed of PlayStation. But we were just talking about this earlier. I like the idea of them taking an anthology approach to Ghost rather than just tying it to one character. So we can explore different eras of Japanese history and different characters. We'll probably get an English version afterwards. And there'll be a blog recapping it. Death Stranding is going to be an A24 movie soon, you believe? I mean, it already looks like a movie. Doll Man. Ghost 2099. Yeah, Death Stranding is a pretty big release for PlayStation, so they're definitely going to promote this with an English version. Let's read that Turkish director's voice him. I delete it. I'm literally watching the stream. I'm not deleting anyone's comments. If your comment was deleted, it's probably by Nightbot. Wilds is after this. I think it's like 11. I made a playlist out of all of these. So once this is over, we can just slide down to the Monster Hunter Wilds one. But we'll probably have some time. I don't think this is going to be that long. At least not 2 hours. But so we'll finish watching the Silent Hill 2, and then I'll tap in for Monster Hunter. Those are for anyone in the series to make the movie. Agent is going to be a big part of the production. Nice. I'll definitely watch a Death Stranding movie. I just see old man Jin. I mean, Ghost of Yotei takes place 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. Jin wouldn't be an old man. He would be a yokai. Zuckerberg said they're working on spin-off. Yeah, but not in the Roman Empire. They said ghost spin-offs. Exploring Japan and different characters. What I imagine is going to happen is that Jin is going to appear in the game as like a spirit. Because remember in Ghost of Tsushima, you would earn special abilities by studying like legendary figures. You know, different legendary warriors and you get, you know, yokai and everything like that, and different spirits. And you do the quest and you get a cool ability out of that. I feel like in Ghost of Yotei, they're going to have Jin be a myth. And one of the quests is going to be, you know, follow the quest line for the Jin Sakai myth, and it'll give you like some really cool special ability that Jin had in the first game. Maybe like his flash step. Or that fear ability, where you basically just one shot everyone and then you can cause them to run away in fear because he's the ghost. That would make the most sense for a mythic Jin Sakai ability. These graphics look crazy. This looks so real. This is in engine. I could tell this is actually in engine. Say it looks better, Horizon. It's definitely on par with Horizon. Horizon Forbidden West looks insane. Like graphics this generation look ridiculous. Especially in the facial animation technology. It's gotten really crazy. Norman Reedus. Looks just like it. That's so crazy. Resident Evil 9 has not been shown at the Tokyo Game Show, and probably will not be. They try to say two girls had to get together woke. Let's talk about Outlaws. They're actually doing a new update for Outlaws, a couple ones. They released a roadmap. They're doing bug fixes, balance updates. They got DLC. I'll probably tap in.
さあ、そしてお待たせしました若山さん、はい、お話を伺っていきます。
I'll check out some of those balance updates.
もう毎回すごく緊張
I'm curious how that'll look. I wanted to finish exploring anyway.
迎えていただけて、もうなんだろう、命を削ってこのトゥモローという役を演じさせていただきたいなっていう意気込みでいつも頑張っております。
Yeah, yeah. Capcom has pretty much just been promoting Monster Hunter Wilds during the Tokyo Game Show. I expect Resident Evil 9 at the Game Awards in December. What's crazy is that some people call it woke just because Ghost of Yotei has female protagonists. Of course, but if you understand their ideology, it makes perfect sense. Because a lot of them hide the fact that they're just bigots behind, oh no, that's not, I just don't like politics shoved into my games. I don't hate women. They hate women. That's what it is. That's what it actually is. A lot of them just straight up hate women. Like there's no other information to go on. A lot of them, you can tell a lot of them didn't even play the first game. Mafia 4 and BJ2. Like it's crazy. Wow, look at that. Looks just like her. Kojima goes crazy with the facial captures. Yeah, like literally, they just found that the voice actor who plays Atsu and was like, oh, because I disagree with her politics, the whole game is woke. Like that's not how it works. Like I could definitely tell the people hating on Ghost of Yotei didn't play the first game because female characters were a big part of the first game. Yuna literally saves Jin's life. What's up, Nava? There's literally nothing woke in the like. Literally, it was just a great trailer. We see the environment. We see her riding a horse. We see her fire a gun. We see her meet a wolf. If you concluded from that trailer it's woke, you just hate women. That's what it actually is. Kojima is 61. I mean, he's been around for a while. Yeah. His birthday is August 24th. 61 years old. Still look he doesn't look a day over 30. I give him like 35. 34. You're a hard person. Anytime someone calls you a sexist, you just look at them, say sorry that you're not. They're making girls try to get his attention because the character. Nah, they just as like I said, like people who talk like this didn't even play the first game. Like Sucker Punch has already established that they know how to write female characters really well. The best characters in Ghost of Tsushima were female. Like Jin's uncle was great, but Yuna, Lady Moscow were all great characters. Infamous. First Light, like they know how to write great characters. So anyone hating just aren't actual fans of Sucker Punch, and you can just ignore them and make fun of them for being stupid because they're just not serious. They're fundamentally just not serious people. You play Ghost of Tsushima like 3 times. It's the game is a masterpiece. The Lady Masako story is that's what I'm saying. Like literally, we know we've seen them portray female warriors. We've seen how they write characters. Like literally, anyone who attacks them and says they're just making a female character because woke or it's going to be bad, literally are not fans and they never played the first game. Like they have not seen gameplay. Like they've not seen anything. Like you can literally dismiss all those people. They're all dumb. They're all dumb. So you can dismiss all. You can dismiss all of them. They're all dumb. How are people not talking about the fact that GTA 6 also has? They are. Did you miss that whole discourse? That was a huge point of contention. People were calling GTA 6 woke too. Love how they're having fun making this. Not even focus on release date. Yeah, Kojima Productions just look like a vibe. I have no idea how long they're going to be doing this. You think the idea of woke has gotten so twisted it means something different to everyone who says it? Yeah, pretty much. Like a lot of people use it just to mean character that isn't white and male. That's literally just what they mean. Yeah, this specific showcase we're watching live right now is being put on by Kojima, and it's all about Death Stranding 2.
皆さんがね最初こうちょっと笑ってるようなシーンもありましたけど、あそこがどんなシーンだったのかっていうのもすごいやっぱ気になりますよね。そうですね。もう一つ一つの映像でも本当にいろんなこうじゃないかなっていうのが。いろいろそれを考えるのも楽しいですよね。そうですね。あとやっぱ僕も何度も行かせていただいてるんですけど、この
I think the word woke is useful because it shows you which people you can ignore and make fun of, depending on how they use it. It just makes it so much easier. It saves you a lot of time. A lot went quiet when they found out she was thick. Got a translator on call. Eastwood is fluent. He can translate. Simpleton indeed. What's my opinion on the Final Fantasy games? I mean, they're great games. Not much to say that hasn't been said already about the Final Fantasy games. It's just a legendary franchise. 10 is my favorite.
結構サムなんかはかなり長丁場の収録になっていくんですけど、でもその一回一回が贅沢なんですよね。
Yeah, Death Stranding 2 is supposed to show a new trailer. It's supposed to be like a special new trailer just for the Tokyo Game Show.
その毎回とっても丁寧に
16-7 remake absolute masterpieces. I still have to finish Rebirth. It's actually wrong. Aloy isn't woke. Nor is Lara Croft. I mean, the new one's probably going to be. The new Tomb Raiders probably will be. But Horizon, they're just cool science fiction games.
そうですね。1の時も
I only played about 2 hours of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have to go back to it.
結構撮ってたりしてて、で今回もそれはやっぱり全貌がやっぱあんまり見えてこないんです。
We're getting Stellar Blade DLC before Spider-Man 2 DLC. I mean, technically, the Stellar Blade DLC doesn't have a release date.
大ベテランの方とかともワンの時は共演。
And we know it's not coming out this month.
若返った感じっていうのもあったりして、はい。またスタジオが
So if the Spider-Man 2 DLC comes out on the 1-year anniversary, it'll have been out before Stellar Blade probably.
なんていうんでしょう、専門用語というか難しいワードとかも。
そうですね。今回フラジャイルすいません。
とんでもないです。
It's also not like the Stellar Blade DLC is going to be like this big story expansion.
頑張ってます。毎回この
It looks like they're just adding photo mode and like near automata suits.
いわゆるこのオリジナルワードみたいなものもあったりして、そこのアクセントが
そうなんですよ。
難しいですよね。
PlayStation is 800 euros in Greece. Yeah, a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford a PS5 Pro. Uncharted, I don't know what they're working on. Uncharted, I know Naughty Dog has been working on some games. I don't know if it's going to be another Uncharted though. I think it's original IP. Besides The Last of Us 3. I think they're working on an original IP.
考えながらやると思うんですけども、もう本当に魂を吹き込むにあたって、いろんなこと考えますか。
そうですね。なんかやっぱりその本当に独自世界なので、これは一体でも映像をまずその収録の前に必ず見せていただいて、その日に撮る映像を。で監督はこれまだ7割しかできてないんですけどみたいな感じでおっしゃるんですけど、僕にはもう 100% できているように見えるんですが、さらにそこからまた掘り下げていく。でも世界観をそこは一回見せていただいてっていう感じなので、
まあ7割6割の映像で撮って
Naughty Dog's focused on the newest IP and Druckmann's working on script. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, Last of Us 3 is probably, I think you mentioned Last of Us 3 we probably won't be out until the PlayStation 6. But hopefully the Naughty Dog original IP will be out in the next year or two. Phil Spencer is still alive.
楽しみにしておりますが、
そういった部分も楽しみですし、また改めて本当に皆さんで作り上げているんだなというのが感じられました。
で、俳優さんともやりましたけど、もう一度日本の声優さんたちともう一度丁寧に作り直しているというか、それをもう一回ハリウッドの人たちにフィードバックするということです。
すごいですね。ちょっと今後の収録の様子も楽しみにしております。
That room is so cool, yeah. Spider-Man 2 still woke, so 12 million copies. The funniest thing about the anti-woke movement is how much of a failure it is in terms of like the gamer gators. Like if you look at the games, they desperately try to like claim victory, but they have to constantly move the goalposts because of how many L's they take. Like it's a lot of copium over that side. Like just look at the games in the last couple years. Hogwarts Legacy, pretty much one of the wokest games ever made. 26 million copies sold 1 year. They called God of War Ragnarok woke, 15 million copies. They called Spider-Man 2 woke, 11 million copies. I think the best example of how worthless the anti-woke movement is on the Gamergator side is if you look at 2024, Suicide Squad outsold Stellar Blade. Let that sink in. Suicide Squad outsold Stellar Blade. and it wasn't particularly close. The chronically online anti-woke, they're a minority. They don't really buy games. People don't care if a game has diversity in it. The gaming public at large cares if the game is good and it has characters in it that they care about. That's it. If you give them a game that is fun to play with characters that they care about, they're going to buy the game. It's really that simple. Or plus 1,000. So this squad is a garbage game. That's the thing. It's not though. It's a garbage. It's a poorly done live service game.
I love Hideo.
But if you look at the user scores from people who actually bought Suicide Squad, not the people review bombing it who didn't buy it, the people who actually played it across all platforms, all gave it high scores at launch. Across Xbox, Steam, and PlayStation. All high scores among verified purchases. There's a reason for that. The base game isn't bad, assuming you didn't run into any bugs. The base game isn't bad. The end game is bad. That's what turned players off. Once you finish the story, there's really nothing to do except climb mastery levels. Like you farm for a little while until you get all the gear. You make a build, and then there's nothing to do after that except play the same mastery incursions over and over again to see how high you can get in your rank. That's the problem. There's nothing else beyond that. Am I going to play Dynasty Warriors? I might have to. It looks fun. And I love Dynasty Warriors back in the day. Isn't the point of a live service game? No. The point of a live service game, if it's a looter, sure. But the point of a live service game is the new content. Like, all looter shooters are repetitive by nature. But what you're supposed to do, obviously, once you have to make the base game fun, but after that, you have to add new content and stuff that is intriguing.
And at the end of the day, we look alike, so it's like talking to my twin.
That interesting story. We just wish it didn't have to rely on live service. That's what I'm saying. Like, Suicide Squad is a perfect example of what bad management looks like. Like, Jamie and Sefton didn't have a clear vision for what they wanted the game to be, and they wasted a lot of time and resources and money because they couldn't decide on what to do. And they had to put something out.
Me too.
Because the concept wasn't a bad idea. There are like some really cool ways you could have done it as well. like played out this concept of a Suicide Squad game where the Justice League has been taken over. Even if you just kept that premise, there are much more interesting ways they could have done it. This very same concept.
You never know until you play.
I wish they had looked at Avengers. That's part of the issue.
But I'll give you a little bit of hint.
Like they started off with the combat like Avengers like, and then they pivoted to just guns, which was really stupid because it really limited what they could do with new characters, and it made the gameplay feel a little too samey among different characters. They could have still made a live service. That's not even the issue. Like people get too hung up on the live service part. It's not bad that it's multiplayer. It's not bad that it has seasons with new story content. That's all good. It's the execution of it.
ちょっとゲームのシーンをお見せしたいんですけど、歩いてるシーンとか見せても面白くないと思うんで、フォトモードというのは
Like if I was in charge, I wouldn't have done a looter shooter. Like I wouldn't have, because the way they did it, like there are much more interesting ways with this concept that you could have implemented that. Because if you look at Suicide Squad's gear, part of the problem is that it's uninspired. Like you have all this gear, you have all these weapons, but as cool as the guns and everything look, they're just guns. Like like my Joker build currently is using the new Firefly gun. It looks cool. It's just an assault rifle that has an effect on it that sets enemies on fire when I crit. That's it. Well, these graphics are unreal. But like in DC, the cool thing about it is that there are so many weapons and artifacts that you could use. And they explored that. That was a good idea of giving them traversal based on them raiding the Hall of Justice. They could have gone further than that by making artifacts that belong to villains and heroes as weapons and stuff that you can unlock and give you special abilities. Like imagine if there was a mission where you had to retrieve Sinestro's lantern ring. Like there have been comic runs where Batman is keeping a lantern ring locked up. Like imagine a mission where you have to break into one of Batman's facilities, and you have to retrieve the lantern ring, and then you get it, and you have Green Lantern powers on your Suicide Squad character. It should be Yellow Lantern or something. Like there are so many more interesting ways they could have done this concept, rather than everyone just gets a generic gun that just looks cool but has like different perks attached to it. Like they tried to play it too safe, and I think it's just because they ran out of time. Like Jamie and Sefton couldn't figure out what they wanted, and eventually just left, and they just had to get a game out. Yeah, just having Brainiac be the only villain, I didn't like that. Obviously, they should have just made a Justice League game, but even with a Suicide Squad concept, you could have made that really interesting. They just didn't make it nearly as interesting as it could have been. Like even the simple change of making the character kits more unique instead of gun focused would have opened up the game so much. Like you could have had characters like Enchantress, Reverse Flash, Bizarro as playable characters if you didn't tie everything to guns. Got the Nice multiplayer option was a good idea. It was a great idea. I love how Got the Nice implemented that. I thought it was a pretty good story. I loved how they designed their open world. The co-op was really good. And then they had these separate multiplayer modes on top of that. I loved how they handled that. Gotham Knights Suicide Squad 100% should have switched places. Like Gotham Knights should have been focused on live service 100%. And Suicide Squad should have been a more contained, co-op, optional, story-driven game that just added pure story expansions later on. Always heading out to the store for snacks. I mean, if you're in Path of the Hurricane, hope you've stocked up. My Green Lantern game concept would work if executed properly. Oh yeah, for sure. That's the key, the execution. If it's executed properly, that's a $1 billion a year game in revenue, easily. You need this merch? Orange isn't my color, but they do look nice. Forgot the Blade game's coming out. It's going to be a while before it comes out, so that makes sense. It's like, oh, it's reversible? I like Kojima's. I might rock that. I don't like the bright orange, but I like the black with the orange accents. Those are pretty good. I think Blade is supposed to be 2027. I don't think the movie's coming out. Keep it a buck. I don't think the movie's coming out before the game. Ubisoft showcase was like over the summer. Ubisoft Forward was like what, three months ago? They were supposed to be at the Tokyo Game Show presenting Assassin's Creed Shadows, if that's what you mean. But yeah, they canceled that. Yeah, I don't know if you've been catching the news, but Ubisoft canceled all of their press plans for Assassin's Creed Shadows and delayed the game until February 2025. Yeah, they had a bunch of early access previews lined up. They were going to be at the Tokyo Game Show, but yeah, they canceled all that and delayed the game to February. Single player Justice League game with optional multiplayer up to 4 players. Death Stranding has mainly been showing cutscenes. Ubisoft's taking a big L. So far from what I've seen, it's a big W. They're delaying it because I'm hearing like they're actually trying to polish it to make sure, they don't have any similar issues that they had with Outlaws. They refunded a bunch of pre-orders, and they're giving people the first expansion for free. They're also, I heard the board is also launching an investigation into Ubisoft to see what's going on with their games and making sure everything's running more efficiently. So we'll see how that part shakes out. But it looks like a lot of big shakeups are happening over there. I mean, Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out, regardless, but it being better and players getting a more player-friendly player-friendly purchasing options and a better final product, I don't know how that's not a W. They're making the game better, and they're investigating to see how they can improve their production process. Was they working with Ubisoft? No. Diddy, if you're gonna make that joke, that's supposed to be Activision Blizzard, not Ubisoft. Activision Blizzard is the one.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to
like low-key.
はい、いかがですか。もうここまでずっとドキドキしてました。
Don't do drugs because Celestial Kojima.
でその時にはですね、プレッパーという形でちょっとミュージシャン、そうですね、ミュージシャンという形で少しだけ参加させていただいたんですけど、今回はなんと
All Assassin's Creed games after Black Flag are crap. Avatar game is crap. I have the Avatar game. I thought it was okay.
のためにこう作らせて
パフォーマンスキャプチャーをやりました。
Where's the gameplay? That was the gameplay.
楽曲流れましたけど、今世界初で流れました。
Yeah, Frontiers of Pandora was pretty good. I thought it was a solid game.
で世界で三浦大知というミュージシャンがいて、ドールマンたちが大ファンなんで、そこから先は言えませんけど、ちょっとストーリーにも関わるんですけど。
なるほど。
はい。
No, this has nothing to do with Horizon. This is a pure Hideo Kojima. Ubisoft has never made a good game. That's definitely not true. That's not even close to true. They've made a lot of good games. That's why they're such a big company. Like, that's objectively false. Ubisoft would not have 19,000 employees if they never made good games. If you think they never made a good game, you're just too young. Don't follow games hard enough. There's a reason Ubisoft is where they were, or where they are now. The original Assassin's Creed games, Rayman, Splinter Cell, Far Cry, The Division, Prince of Persia. Like the idea that Ubisoft never made any good games is just kind of disqualifies you, honestly, from game conversations. Because no serious person would actually say that if they were informed.
なんです。なのでちょっと楽曲もフルで初めて出ますし。
Yeah, you could say they've definitely fallen off.
ということでちょっとここで今から一曲パフォーマンスさせていただけたらというふうに思っており
You
ます。
know, they got complacent.
三浦大知さんの歌とダンスの生パフォーマンスが最後に見られるということになりましたので、それではですね。
But let's be honest, they've made a lot of good games. It's why they're so successful.
そしてですね、少しステージ転換も
People's biggest complaint with Ubisoft, the people that matter at least, is that they want the old Ubisoft where they were more consistent.
これ2年ぐらいかかってまして、2年、はい、で一緒になんかやりましょうかっていうので、まあ曲作りから踊りとか、あとまあここからちょっと出ますけど、まずスキャンを。
Assassin's Creed is overrated. I think it's properly rated.
服装のもデザインをしていただきまして、服装作って、でこれはちょっとテストショットですね。
It had some really good games. Some really polarizing games, and some games that people think are bad or just mid. Well, we saw gameplay as a lot of kid, King Kong 2005. The people that matter. Yeah, like there are people right now who only care about identity politics. Like they're more upset about there being a female character and a black character in Assassin's Creed Shadows than they are about the monetization, the gameplay, the story, potential performance issues. Like, listen to feedback from them is pointless. Like they don't matter. They don't buy games, and they're just unserious people.
何日もかけてというか何ヶ月もかけてみたいな感じなんですか。
収録は1日ですけど、まあそれまでリハとかまあ何回もフィードバックをさせていただいて、ですごくいい曲が出来上がった。
Like all the culture war stuff, like that's not serious dialogue.
書き下ろしと。
そうですそうです。
ことで楽曲に関しても。はい。
Like it's only an issue. The politics of the developers is only an issue when it negatively impacts the game in a way that makes it less fun. Someone just not liking seeing black people in video games is not a valid criticism.
経て完成したんだなというところが感じられました。ではですね、ここで三浦さんのスタンバイが OK ということになりましたので。
You think they were pissed because they said he was surrogate athlete? See, I mean that's just misinformation. So the Assassin's Creed franchise is historical fiction. Like anyone who actually plays the games know the entire point is that they tell fantastical stories set in historical time periods. That's literally the entire point of the series. Unless you think the apple of Eden is real, which it obviously is not. But no one was whining about historical accuracy then, like, because no one actually cares. The problem is the people who were yelling about Yasuke never actually knew who Yasuke was. They like half of the people complaining literally thought that Yasuke was an original character that Ubisoft just made up. George Washington, AC3, exactly. There wasn't protests on Twitter because about George Washington and how they portrayed the American Revolution. Like, no one cares. it's supposed to be fiction. That's the entire premise of the entire series. But because these anti-woke people are just generally uneducated and don't do any research, a bunch of them just thought Yasuke wasn't real, and then they tried to cope when they got called out on it by saying, oh, well, he's not a real samurai, so that's fake. Again, it's a video game. The stories aren't supposed to be real, but also Japan themselves have portrayed Yasuke as a samurai for decades. Like, you can literally look this up. They've made anime, they've made movies, they've made video games featuring Yasuke as a samurai. He was a samurai. They portrayed him as a samurai in Sekiro. Alongside Ajin, by the way, the main character who was white. No outrage there. When you had a samurai game with a white protagonist, no one cared about that. No outrage about that one. From these anti-woke people who love historical accuracy, didn't care about that. But they see Yasuke and all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute. Where's the historical accuracy? No, they don't care. They don't care about historical accuracy. They just don't like seeing black people in games. That's literally what it is. You didn't play Neo 1, but you guess now you will. There have been multiple games made by Japanese people that had Yasuke as a samurai before Assassin's Creed ever did it. You have to take at least 800 tabs of acid for what's going on the screen right now. I mean, this is the most normal part of the showcase so far, honestly. This is just this is just a concert, basically. This is just a concert segment, basically. This is way more normal than the dolls. No AC game is accurate. Literally, that's the entire point of the AC franchise. They're fantasy stories told in historical settings. Just Dance Kojima Productions. This is normal for Kojima, honestly. The fantastical elements were more behind the scenes. How is it behind the scenes? You literally see a device that lets you see the future. One of the games, you're literally fighting a mythological creature. What are you talking about? Yasuke being a samurai is one of the most normal things they've had in the Assassin's Creed franchise. What are you talking about? It's not even science fiction or mystical. It's literally just a black guy. With a sword. There's a black guy with a sword. What are we talking about? No, literally no one cares. Literally no one actually cares. People play the Assassin's Creed games because they like the idea of doing cool stuff in historical settings. That's literally it. They like the parkour. They like the assassinations. They like doing the stealth and all that. They like fighting. They like fighting in these historical settings. That's literally it. No one actually cares about any of this stuff. Blade and AC, I wish. Would prefer the Age of Samurai, yes. Yeah, but no issue with Asuka. Issue is the gameplay looking questionable. Like, yeah, the questions people should be asking is about the gameplay. How's the performance? Because I heard it's really buggy. Like that, those are the questions we should be asking. What's up with the monetization? What's up with the performance? Asking for historical accuracy in a fictional video game is a dog whistle. It's having no impact on the company. The problem with Ubisoft is that they have 19,000 employees and are trying to make 5 games a year. like people cry, anti-woke grifters crying on Twitter is not affecting the company. Spending 10 years on Skull and Bones and then it's not selling well is affecting the company. That's what's affecting the company. No one cares about all you losers on Twitter. What's affecting their stock is the fact that they have too many people trying to make too many games. They haven't been doubling down on their best IP. They basically wasted 10 years and millions of dollars on a quadruple A game, a quadruple A game that went nowhere. They went all in on a Call of Duty killer, X Defiant, which went nowhere. That's the problem. If they had been focusing on a new Splinter Cell game, a new Division game, new Prince of Persia, their stock would be fine. But because they took these big leaps with games that went nowhere, it affected their value. Like if you think some loser ranting about there being black people in a video game had more effect on their stock price than them spending 10 years to make a live service game that peaked at 2,000 players, you're detached from reality. On Steam. Like, I think at most, across all platforms, Skull and Bones hit like 800,000 players. That's the number I heard internally. For a live service game they spent 10 years making. Steam is the other big thing. They're now going to be releasing games on Steam same day. Like, that's the stuff that actually matters that's been affecting them. I didn't say their stock was fine. Are you literally listening to the words that I'm saying? I'm saying the reason their stock has been having issues is because they aren't producing the right games and they're taking big swings on stuff that's not working. It's having no impact. No one cares about those losers. the stock went down because their big swings aren't landing. I do way more research than you do. You don't know what you're talking about. You're in an echo chamber that relies on telling people that they're complaining on Twitter works, because if they realize that their culture war nonsense has no impact on the real world, well, they would stop giving out money and donations. Like, you can't farm outrage if the people that you're farming the content to are told that they're not making a difference. Like, if Skull and Bones was a good game that did Helldiver 2 numbers, we wouldn't be having this conversation about Ubisoft stock at all. And Skull and Bones didn't fail because it was woke. Skull and Bones failed because they spent 10 years making a worse version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's the problem. Like, what are we talking about? Do your research. Do you really think Grums had more of an effect on their stock price than their quadruple A game? Like, what are you talking about? They said quadruple A game, and it peaked at 800,000 players. Like, what do you mean? That's literally the only reason their stock is doing poorly. They took big swings on quadruple A games that didn't work. What if we did anything for Cyberpunk Orion? I feel like that's too early. What the F is Skull and Bones? Exactly. Skull and Bones was this massively ambitious project Ubisoft has been working on literally for 10 years. It was supposed to be this huge, crazy open world pirate multiplayer exploration game. It was going to be a massive hit. It was going to have all this cool stuff. You're going to be a pirate, all this stuff. It was going to be like Sea of Thieves, but with like better graphics. Like, it was supposed to be a better Sea of Thieves. Like, yeah, while they were working on Skull and Bones, Sea of Thieves came out already, but it was supposed to be bigger than Sea of Thieves, and it wasn't. It wasn't as good as Sea of Thieves or Black Flag. You see the Wolf of Wall Street yelling Ubisoft is woke, so you're sure immediately, imagine. Yes, ninjas existed in Japan, but they may not have been as portrayed in the anime manga. Yes, we're assuming that ninjas weren't using fireball jutsu and walking on water. No trailer. This feels like this is going to be a 2-hour show, so I think they're probably saving the trailer for the end, because so far they've just shown little game segments. What is the Dragon Ball? That's really safe for Ultimate? No idea. They started at 9, so this is like an hour and so this has been an hour and 20 minutes. they're probably going to close out with a trailer.
まあゲームのシステムとしては、まあネットでまあ実際に対戦が多い中、ちょっと緩いつながり。
Well, Suicide Squad and Skull and Bones. Suicide Squad actually outperformed Skull and Bones.
みんなリモートとかメタとかあって、僕はやっぱり人のつながりって直接こういうふうに皆さん集まって顔を見て同じ空気。
Ninja in Feudal Japan is more like CIA agent. Now, how we see them in movies, games.
で、まあソニーさん今回ブースを出されるということなんで、そこでまあ5年ぶりの。
Nobody cares about the Black Samurai. You care about them not showing gameplay. Misigi. I mean, they showed gameplay, and there was supposed to be a preview build that media and creators had access to, but apparently the build just wasn't in a good enough state, and they ended up canceling it. Square, I haven't heard of Square doing the panel tonight. Capcom is after this with Monster Hunter. Ubisoft and Rocksteady hit major lows this year. Definitely true. Rocksteady's definitely in a better situation, I think. I mean, Ubisoft is having Rocksteady itself is it could be much worse. For when it comes to Rocksteady situation, obviously the situation at Warner Brothers at large isn't great. But Rocksteady at the end of the day just released a game that didn't hit. And it wasn't, what they usually do. I thought they would do a one more thing and drop the trailer. So looks like we just got some new cutscenes which look great. Some really weird dance sequences. And a little concert. They did a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So no full trailer, it looks like. And Monster Hunter Wilds is in 36 minutes. All right, so we'll finish Silent Hill.
でも本当にこだわってた、見えすぎてもいけないし、ただこう見えなすぎても今度怖さというよりもね。
Death Stranding 2 is definitely coming out next year. It's definitely still scheduled for 2025. Oh, you know what's happening? Kojima is waiting for the Game Awards. How did we forget? Kojima and Jeff Keighley are best friends. Of course, he's going to save a big new Death Stranding trailer for the Game Awards. It makes perfect sense. December. Because it doesn't mess with release dates if they have a specific date. He'll probably give it to Jeff Keighley. Do you think Kojima has the ability to make any new Metal Gear Solid games, or do you think that Konami owns the franchise? Kojima does not own the Metal Gear Solid IP. It was made under Capcom. It was made under Konami. Just look at Jeff Sola's eyes. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I think Jay Shockblast is better. Probably just stay awake and it's 11 p.m. Holy. Where am I watching this? YouTube. So much for the special trailer you were talking about. That's literally how they promoted the show. What are you on about? What are you yapping about? They literally promoted the Tokyo Game Show, saying that there's going to have a special panel with new footage for Death Stranding 2. I never attempted to be Miller, dumbass. What are you talking about? I just report the news. They literally promoted this event and this panel by saying they're showing new footage, which they did. They showed new footage. They just didn't put it all in the trailer. That's what I was just gonna do. Black Flag was great. No one complained about the slave DLC. You can't have a proper combo and live stream. All the comments come in. Can't expand on a point without getting lumped in with other ones. You can. It's just a lot of people will jump into a live stream just to be stupid because they feel like they need to stand out by having the worst possible take. You think this is the Monster Hunter presentation? This is, in fact, the Silent Hill 2 presentation. Monster Hunter presentation is in 30 minutes. All the Spectre chat is usually pretty awesome, but tonight as well. To be fair, it's only a handful of people tonight that are just, really stupid, which is usually the case. PS5 Pro is Digital Foundry actually got hands-on with the PS5 Pro. They said it was amazing. Digital Foundry said the PS5 Pro was amazing. So no concern there. It's just a matter of can you afford it or not. I mean, you don't work unless you work for Digital Foundry. I mean, your opinion kind of doesn't matter because you didn't play it. So all we can do is go by the people who actually played on the PS5 Pro and just wait until more people get their hands on it so we can get their impressions. But just saying something that you never touched in your life is bad is just silly. Like where is that even coming from? They'll like you. I didn't even take that seriously because the whole reason that I'm a full-time content creator is that people like me. Weird as it is, people enjoy hearing me rant about video games. An absurd amount, to be honest. It's also because it's sold out in minutes. I mean, we expected that. Yeah. Like, the people who said that no one's going to buy it, I honestly laughed. Because you don't know PlayStation fans. I literally saw people who were dogging the PS5 Pro like all the way. Like, oh man, this is going to be bad. This is going to be, wow. They said all this other stuff. Posted their receipt, their $1,000 receipt, showing that they bought the 30th anniversary edition. I'm like, bro. I knew it was all cap because I know how gamers are. I knew people were going to complain about the price. And then PlayStation was going to show some cool stuff. And then everyone was going to buy it. Like, what are we talking about? Of course, because of course they are. Of course they were going to buy it. They were always going to buy the PS5 Pro. Do you play games of fidelity, 30 FPS, or performance 60? I prefer 60. That's why I like Insomniac's games, because they have those. Their games are generally really well optimized, and they'll have those like hybrid modes. So you get the really high performance without sacrificing the visual clarity. But when it comes down to it, I prefer the performance over anything else. Are you trading your PS5 for $350? That's pretty good. So I don't know if the PS5 Pro itself is sold out. I know the 30th anniversary edition of the Pro sold out in minutes. They went fast. I'm sure the regular version is still available somewhere. I gotta see it. Like when I saw it was everything was only on PlayStation Direct, I knew it was going to be just a nightmare. So I didn't even bother. It looks like the PS5 Pro isn't on Amazon either. Yeah, so for now it's going to be hard to get a Pro. Scalpers I saw scalpers trying to sell them for as much as $5,000, which is insane. But I wasn't worried about it anyway, because I never intended to pre-order it the day it became available anyway. I was gonna wait because I do have connections at Sony, so I was gonna see if I could get a promotional PS5 Pro sent over for me to review before I commit to buying it. Yeah, because of PS5 Christmas. That's nice of you. Head crab nurse. Is there a chance Marvel Rivals? No. This is the Silent Hill showcase. We're waiting for the Monster Hunter Wilds showcase to start. You don't see any difference between 30 and 60? Yeah, the human eye is not supposed to be able to detect a difference. I notice a slight difference, but games are usually, for me, a bit smoother, particularly in combat, especially if there's like a lot going on. If I'm running in 60, that's usually the biggest indicator, the smoothness more than anything. And you'll sometimes see a drop in graphic fidelity. It depends on the game and how it's optimized. Silent Mid is going to be mid. Yeah, some games it's more noticeable than others. Pyramid Head 60 versus 120. Oh, Velgar's gonna be interesting. I'm definitely interested in checking out Velgard. That's a game that kind of got. It feels like the Velgard kind of got hurt by its own trailer, but now it's definitely gaining momentum because the gameplay preview events have gone much better. I thought their trailer at State of Play was much better. Like that initial trailer that they showed wasn't great. It definitely set the wrong, kind of gave people the wrong idea. But everyone I've heard that played it said that they can't believe how bad of a job the trailers did at showing how the game actually is, which is encouraging. Some things you heard is that some games tie FPS to physics. For example, you heard Burn 2 swinging. I know Spider-Man 2 has physics-based swinging, but that's like more of a feature of their game, not necessarily the frame rate. Like when I'm checking for frame rate, I'm usually 30 to 60. I don't actually care that much, especially because I don't typically play shooters. The real key is the stability. Like if you're playing on console, you don't really notice frame rate until it starts stuttering. Like you want everything to be smooth and sharp and responsive. Am I translating? Only in my head. This is a Silent Hill 2 presentation, and we're currently waiting for the Monster Hunter Wilds presentation to start. Yeah, I got the PS5 because I wasn't interested in any of the Xbox games. That's literally it. Like before when they first announced them going on sale for pre-order, I was like, okay, before I decide which one I'm going to buy, I'm going to look at their upcoming games. Yeah, I looked at the Xbox Series X launch stuff, the PlayStation 5 launch stuff, looked at some of the games that they had come out in the future. I was like, okay, nothing Xbox has coming up is of any interest in me whatsoever. So I was like, I'll just get the PS5 because I usually prefer PlayStation anyway, and I definitely want to play Miles Morales day one. Like the only Xbox games I really were looking for was like Fable and State of Decay. And obviously they didn't have any of that nearly ready in 2020. So I was like, I'm just getting the PS5. Plus, we all know that's the other thing. Yeah, now we know the Xbox games are just going to come to PS5 anyway. So it's literally no point in getting an Xbox. Literally not at all. Like even if you don't have a PS5, if you want to play Xbox games, you can just get an Amazon Fire Stick. All you need is a Game Pass subscription, an Xbox controller, and a new Amazon Fire Stick. And you can play any Xbox game. Indiana Jones looks okay. Yeah, I'm looking. I'll wait for the PS5 version for that. That fan-made Superman game that Sadot cover is in the PlayStation Store for free. Yep, yeah, I covered that on the stream. That's the only reason I covered it, because I've known about it for a while. It just wasn't available on anything other than Steam. So when I found out it was in the PlayStation Store, you know, I had to do a stream for it. And the sequel comes out in 2026, so I'm looking forward to it. They actually just dropped a new trailer for the sequel, Undefeated Genesis, for the Tokyo Game Show. Actually show it right now. Actually, let me look it up. Here it is. Oh, they got a demo. They posted a demo from the Tokyo Game Show. Oh, we got it. We definitely gotta watch this now. I didn't know they had a demo for this. Oh, hold up. Apologies to Silent Hill 2. We finna watch the Superman game. We finna watch the sequel. Hold up. Let me refresh this. I added it to the playlist. Here it is. Undefeated Tokyo Game Show demo. So this apparently they had a demo for this setup at the Tokyo Game Show. This is the sequel. I know a lot of you watched me stream the first game. It's called Undefeated. This is the official sequel, Undefeated Genesis, coming out in 2026 on PS5 and PC. I can't wait for this game. So this demo is apparently available at the Tokyo Game Show. I definitely need this game. Woo! He's more Dragon Ball Z in the sequel than Superman. The first one is more like a straight up Superman simulator. This one is more Dragon Ball Z. Have I seen the Delta footage? Yeah. When your indie company makes a better Superman than DC. This is facts. And you can steal their powers. Yeah, one of the features I read about this new game is that you can steal the powers of the aliens on this planet and add it to your own. It's pretty cool. Art mod of Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, I really like the sound design and the music. Yeah, you can definitely tell they got a little more money to make the sequel. They're still an indie studio. It's still a very small studio, but they've come a long way. They started as just 3 guys in college making a game. They got a little bit more money for the sequel, so you can see the graphics are better. It's flashier. The world is much bigger. Yeah, the sound design's really good. Definitely a lot of beef on those hits. And it just looks cool. Like, it looks really flashy. Yeah, this is Undefeated Genesis. It's a Tokyo Game Show demo. Indie Us is the studio. They're the ones who made the first game, Undefeated. Nice to see them coming up in the world, getting a spot at the Tokyo Game Show. Imagine if they had like a AAA budget. Imagine what they could do. Like, these are some really talented guys. Imagine what they could pull off if you gave them like $50 million. Yeah, they have your money. Facts. I'm definitely buying this game as soon as it's available. Is there a AAA budget? It depends. It depends on who would be publishing. That's a stereotype. It's true for some companies, but not all of them. Name a AAA studio that isn't MTX heavy. Insomniac Games. Sucker Punch. Remedy. Skydance. Ooh, this is cool. MTX is stands for microtransactions. Not AAA. That's 100% factually inaccurate. 100% false. Insomniac is inarguably a AAA studio. Same as Sucker Punch. That's simply untrue. There's not even a debate. Insomniac is a AAA studio that makes AAA games. Right now we're watching the Undefeated Genesis demo while I'm waiting for the Monster Hunter showcase to start. So to be clear for people who may not notice, when we're talking about AAA, AA, indie, an indie studio is a studio that has 50 people or less working as developers. If you have 50 people or less, you're considered a indie studio. More commonly, indie studios have like 20 people. 50 is like the high end. 200 or less? No, not at all. If you're in the 1 to usually 40, you're considered an indie studio. Yeah. If you're in the if you're at 100, you're technically considered AAA, maybe AA, depending on your budget. Insomniac has over 500 people working at the studio. Even after the layoffs of 10%, Insomniac has well over 500 employees. What happened to Lost Soul? Not sure. Yeah. Rocksteady is AAA. They started out, they previously had 100. They're currently at about 200 plus. Sucker Punch has currently a little less than 200. They're at 185. Yeah, I'd say the sweet spot for a AAA studio, in my opinion, is like 100 to 200 people. 300 the most, depending on how ambitious you want to be. Like if you're making like big license games, because what you don't want to be is like Ubisoft, where you just grow into this giant publisher with 19,000 people. Because like the more devs you add to your studio, the more problems you seem to have. Like if your studio grows too big, it just gets you don't get exponentially better. Things kind of just get more inefficient, and people become more risk averse, because if you have that type of size of a studio, then there's a lot more riding on your games because you're spending so much money on maintenance. Rocksteady's gotta make they really don't. If Rocksteady makes an okay Batman game, no one's gonna care about Suicide Squad. Especially after Jason Schreier made that article kind of just exposing that Jamie and Sefton Hill are the ones that kind of screwed the game up the most. Like if they drop a solid Batman game, no one's gonna care. No one's even gonna remember Suicide Squad 5 years from now. Big shout out to Indie Us. I'll drop them in the chat for anyone that doesn't follow them. Definitely tap into their YouTube channel. They post new updates, new trailers. They have Undefeated Genesis coming. That was Undefeated Genesis. It's a sequel to Undefeated, which was basically their fan-made Superman game that started their whole studio. It's available right now on Steam and PlayStation for free if you want to pick up the first game. Second game is scheduled to release in 2026. Definitely go check them out. Show those guys some love. Really talented upcoming indie studio. I'm really excited to see what they do in the future. As they say, Suicide Squad is not canon. That part doesn't even matter, because the Justice League is not even dead. Like, like that's a funny thing. They don't even have to. They don't even have to. There are just so many ways they could just retcon or just set aside what. Like if they like they could make a Batman Beyond game if they want to do Batman again. They could do what like Arkham Shadow did and set the game in a different part of the Arkham timeline. Like they don't have to do a direct sequel to Arkham. Like there's so many things they can do. I personally I preferred the idea of making it like a single player Justice League game where you play as Batman and Superman, and it's like follows a story of them forming the Justice League. I thought that game pitch was much cooler than just another Batman game, but you know, DC is going to DC. Gotta give us another freaking Batman game. You know, I hope that report was wrong, because I don't know, Nick from the Xbox Era podcast, he's pretty reliable, but he's also like kind of a Xbox fanboy. If you look at his timeline. So I kind of take his PlayStation related stuff with a bit of a grain of salt, but he generally just gives, you know, good information. What a Red Hood story. What do you mean? Just play Gotham Knights. It's all the Red Hood you need. Every time you see 2026, you cringe. Breaking news, next year, your wallet. Hate you worse. Well, the final Superman game, same. I really hope they don't take the easy route and just make a generic Arkham game. At least reach for Batman Beyond. If you're going to do another Batman game. Even more so than a Batman game, I thought would have been cool is a Deathstroke game, because we're seeing how popular he is. Like I know a bunch of people are going to play Suicide Squad again just to get that content of Deathstroke for a little bit. I feel like a Deathstroke, a single player Deathstroke game would have been much more interesting. Martian Manhunter win. Static Shock win. How about that? How about Static Shock? How's all right for Arkham World or whatever that one was so good. Just want that game. Okay, I just want a non-Batman game. That's good. Non-lethal's hurt like a punch. Booster Gold game. Well, the new Batman game is the first attempt for James Gunn to collaborate. Oh, you mean like a DCU game for like his Batman Brave and the Bold, where the Bat family's already established? Basically, that would basically be a Batman and Robin game then. Or Batman and Damian, which was actually really interesting because they did cancel a Damian Wayne game. But the point is, DC has so many properties that they're just wasting. They're just wasting away. All right, it's Monster Hunter time. Like we could be getting a Teen Titans game. I made a tweet about this, a meme about it. Like there's so many properties they could do that they're just wasting because they keep going back to Batman. They could do a Static Shock game. They could do Green Arrow, Lobo, Young Justice. Dr. Fate, Green Lantern, Superman, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Aquaman, Justice Society, Peacemaker, Constantine, Zatanna, Teen Titans. There are so many DC games they could make. Like, there's no reason to keep going back to Batman. Lobo would go so hard. Young Justice game would be peak. Young Justice game would be amazing. Silver Fur is your second favorite DC character. An actual Young Justice, like a proper AAA Young Justice game, would go so crazy. This girl's getting her steps in. Sir. Gotta stay active. Constantine game to go with the second movie. Yeah, I would love a Constantine. I love Constantine. They definitely need that game. DC is slacking. A Sandman? I'm not sure how a Sandman game would even work. It was hard enough for them to adapt the graphic novel into a series. Sandman's kind of not like a story that's like easily adaptable in the games. Like Dream is really powerful, but he's not. But it would have to be more kind of like a Telltale type of game, because his stories really aren't about combat. It was good. I thought overall it was good. I didn't like their portrayal of Lucifer, but other than that, it was good. They had a few episodes that were just unbelievable. No, I didn't even try. I didn't even try to get the pro. They should have made Justice League a game in the first place. Let's be honest. What's up, Isaiah? We watched the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero presentation. We watched some of the Silent Hill one. We watched Undefeated Genesis, that sequel to that fan-made Superman game. We watched the very interesting Death Stranding presentation for Death Stranding 2. And now this is Monster Hunter Wilds. Calendar Man. Where are you watching it? On YouTube in my bedroom. Flash game, hell yeah. Interesting on crack, pretty much, yeah. not gonna lie, that was a pretty wild show. Condiment King, Kite Man. Kite Man's got his own show. Why not give him his game? Or at least they should have at least made him a DLC character in Suicide Squad. Show some love to Kite Man. What happened at the Death Stranding? A lot of things happened that we won't talk about. Actually, did y'all hear about the team up game, the team up movie with Bane and Deathstroke that's apparently in development over at DC? That would be an interesting game. My understanding is like it sounds like it's like Hobbs and Shaw, but with Bane and Deathstroke. Thunderbolts game when? Not gonna lie, that Thunderbolts trailer looked really good. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta look into it more. I don't know if it's live action or animated, but yeah, they said there's a team up movie in the works with Bane and Deathstroke. I mean, James Gunn has to be overseeing it to some degree because you know he's in charge of DC. I don't know if it's going to be DCU or Elseworlds though. That's the only thing. That's what I don't know. But that sounds interesting. Yeah, it depends on a roster, but yeah, because the comic Thunderbolts roster is really good. It would make for a great game. The MCU, not so much. Like a video game version of the MCU, Thunderbolts would basically be Suicide Squad.
一つのマップを取ってもこう状況が変わっていったりとかで景色もすごく変わったりとかするってことですよね。
でここが今北条記になります。で、先ほどの
Well, it's kind of not revealing. I'm not sure there even is a Devil May Cry in development. Your friend Grace said, "Thank you so much for the shout out. Just wishing it true. I'm glad I could help." The next, after the Tokyo Game Show ends, I don't know if there's any game. I mean, the next major game showcase is the Game Awards in December. But New York Comic Con is next month. It's 3 weeks away. But yeah, the major one is the Game Awards. Jeff Keighley's Game Awards. A revamp of the PS2 Iron Man game would be crazy. I mean, we're already getting the Iron Man game from Motive, which I think is going to be really good. So Iron Man fans should be okay. You have her temper your sword. Wow. You wish you could understand what they were saying? Oh yeah, they're going crazy right now. You can translate for you. Monster Hunter Wilds will be the best game of 2025. All other games are rough. Yeah, I gotta continue taking my Japanese lessons on Rosetta Stone. But it's a game presentation. You can kind of fill in the blanks by looking at the context. Where's Iron Man game at? EA is keeping it close to the chest. Maybe that's another Game Awards game. Maybe they roll it out for New York Comic Con. Weebs are the best.
チャレンジしていただくという、本当に気合の入ったコーナーなんですけれども、今回ですね、せっかくモンスターハンターの皆様が来ていただいておりますので、企画こちらとさせていただきます。
Sorry, Wukong is angry. Let's be honest. Astrobot is Game of the Year. Astrobot is going to win Game of the Year. It's kind of obvious at this point. If you look at the reaction to all the people who are going to be voting on Game of the Year, it's pretty much between the Astrobot and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Unless Dragon Age the Veilguard is just like a surprise masterpiece, it's going to be Astrobot. Game of the Year's Fragger Zero. I don't think they're ever going to give it to a fighting game. You got to remember when you look at the Game Awards, when it comes to Game of the Year, the only games that realistically have a chance at winning are games with like really high Metacritic ratings. So you can check the Metacritic scores and you can easily kind of get a feel for what games are going to be nominated and what games are going to be favorite. Now this year there was a pretty high number of 80s among the big releases, but the standout ones that made it into the 90s were basically Astrobot, the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, which weirdly they count as a game sometimes. Sometimes kind of like how they did Phantom Liberty. They gave it a nomination as if it was a game. They'll probably do that, but yeah, Astrobot, the highest rated actual game of 2024 in terms of Metacritic score. Second was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Balatro is probably going to get some love. Depending on how good it is, maybe Sonic will get some love. Yeah, realistically, I think they're going to give it to Astrobot. If Erdtree wins anything outside Best DLC, he'll go on a rampage. Chazos 2B goes. That's what I mean. Like people say, "Oh, this is going to be Game of the Year." Like, no, you have to understand who's voting for Game of the Year. It's gaming media. It's not fan voting. It's gaming media. Obviously, Ghost of Tsushima was better than The Last of Us 2. Like, it's not even a question. But Last of Us 2 appealed more to the sensibilities of the journalists, and they also wanted to kind of give an FU to, all the people who complained about it being woke by just making Game of the Year. I don't think it was a bad game. I thought the story was terrible, but I thought it was a very well made game. Story aside. But there was definitely a lot of extra glaze on The Last of Us 2 because of the controversy, and the culture war stuff. You miss Joel? Same. Wokes is a term you're looking for. Yeah, I mean it did. There's no doubt about it. They definitely leaned into it. They definitely leaned into the modern audience for that sequel, and I thought it was to the detriment of the game. Cause I didn't like the character. I didn't care that Ellie was gay. I just thought it was a bad story. I thought they assassinated the character of Joel, literally, and in terms of the writing. Like, they made him really dumb. They kind of retconned the ending of The Last of Us Part 1 by making Ellie mad at him. The whole revenge plot, I thought, just ended poorly. I thought the game dragged on a little bit too long. I didn't particularly like Abby. I thought the way they set that up, where you have to spend like half the game as Abby, right after you have to watch her brutally kill Joel. I thought that was just really bad design choicing, because it didn't make her more sympathetic. Because the whole time you're just trying to kill her and all her friends. So yeah, I just didn't like how they did it. I thought it was poorly done. Who believes that Joel would trust some randoms? Exactly. Like it was complete. It was just awful writing. Druckmann needs Amy Hennig back badly. Amy Hennig was low-key carrying Naughty Dog with her writing. without Amy Hennig, with just Neil Druckmann, they're having a hard time. Is the character creator? Ooh, you get to make your companion. I like this.
はい。
出てきませんので。
Yeah, this is live.
二人マルチの場合は出ます。
はい、でも、すみません、お供は好みのものにしてしまいます。すみません。
そこ大事な
最初ちょっと
断っちゃいました。
表示されますから。
はい大事なちょっともう
こういう会話とかも。
はい、会話とかも今回スキップイベントカット。
Yeah, there's a playable demo. I've heard mixed things. I heard there's like two conflicting rumors right now about Monster Hunter Wilds. There's someone said it performs poorly on PS5 on the base PS5. Someone else said it performs fine on the base PS5. But apparently it's amazing on the PS5 Pro.
大事ですか
こういう
ら
ふうにアイテムボックスの方にから
Monster Hunter Wilds seems to be having a crossover saying,
ビデオな
Amy Hennig doesn't need Naughty Dog. Nope, she definitely does it. Yeah, she's doing her thing at Skydance. I can't wait to play her Rise of Hydra game. I'm very excited. It looks really good.
よし、で、先行ですね。
はい。レダウには先行非常に有効ですんで。
I cannot wait to dive into. I can't wait to see that gameplay. Hope they show it at the Game Awards or at New York Comic Con.
今回移動がめちゃくちゃ楽になりましたよね。
Because I definitely want to see what they cooking. Because that's really what's going to determine
なんかこう一人がもうそこの目的地に
how high I put Rise of Hydra in the 2025 tier list. I got to see what the gameplay is first.
結構いますね。
ちょっと一つ
But no, Ghost of Yote is going to be peak.
します。
Monster Hunter Wilds clearly is going to be up there. GTA 6 is going to be up there. Mafia Borderlands is going to be up there. Crimson Desert, if performance holds up, is going to be up there.
先行玉とか素早く
Rise of Hydra is definitely going to be a game I cover heavy on the channel because I mainly do prioritize superhero games. But I gotta see that gameplay
カスタマイズ非常にしやすくなってますので。
いいですね。
because the last time I played as Captain America or Black Panther in an action game was Marvel's Avengers.
お、誰がやりますか？やってください。
And they did a really good job with those character kits.
ありがとうございます。
So I'm curious how they're going to approach it.
じゃあちょっとその間に。
This could potentially be really peak.
ました。
OK。ゲイ。
We know it's in Unreal Engine 5. So it should be like really smooth, responsive, explosive. But we gotta see.
バットフィニッシュします。
ナイス。おー素晴らしい。
よっしゃー。
Ooh, they got him. Yeah, Avengers. The combat in Avengers is really good. The combat design was really good. I mean, to be expected. They hired Vince Napoli, who designed the God of War combat. So of course the combat design was going to be tight. But it's definitely what carried the game and why it lasted so long despite the poor launch.
いけてるいけてる。あー泣いてる泣いてる。いや結構いいペースでいけてません？
すごいいいですよ。
Yeah, I definitely gotta get my
でこれすぐ
one of my best friends PC some of y'all remember PC. He popped up on the stream sometimes. He does music. The last game like this we played together was Dauntless.
取れるんですか？お、なんかつけてる。
お尻に
I've been looking for a game
お尻に
that the crew can play together.
なんかお尻いっぱいついてる。
And Monster Hunter Wilds looks like it's going to be that game.
でこの焦げ草ついたところに攻撃を与えると
Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be a 30 out of 10.
加算されますので、まあちょっとしたところではあるんですけど。
Issue Avengers of playability, lobby.
環境利用の新しい
Yeah, they kind of screwed themselves just from the very beginning when they decided not to make the game in Unreal Engine. I thought that the decision to make a multiplayer looter instead of like single player focused co-op, like if it had been single player focused, like the game engine would have been fine, but the fact that they tried to go multiplayer kind of screwed them because their engine wasn't designed for that.
ちょっとしびれでも
So they already just kind of screwed them completely.
よいしょ。しびれ起きました。
And then they tried to chase the Destiny trend and try to make it a looter shooter, which didn't really mesh well at all with the type of game they made.
バランスとかもいいですね。
あ、傷
progression should have been ability based, and they should have spent more time focusing on the mission design so that there was a compelling gameplay loop at the end. Like, there's a lot of ways they could have made Avengers like a masterpiece. It just was unfortunate. Your help on Monster Hunter? Yes, sir. Y'all like the shock traps? Yeah, I'm more of a cryo enjoyer, but I am fond of the shock stuff as well. Like the shock grenades and Space Marine 2 are my favorite. Because I like how it like sets a hazard that can stop the hordes from piling up on you for a little bit. My description fits both Avengers and Suicide Squad. It only fits Avengers. Suicide Squad was built in Unreal Engine. But yeah, the part about not making it a looter definitely applied. Yeah, I had a whole pitch about Suicide Squad earlier. I definitely think their combat should have been more like Avengers and Suicide Squad. That was kind of the biggest drawback, because that's why the combat in Suicide Squad feels so samey, because they designed it to be a pure shooter instead of going the Avengers route and just making it like about individual hero kits that have a combination of melee range attacks that like fit the character, instead of just trying to have a rigid system that's just about collecting loot and not particularly interesting loot at all. And yeah, the DLC in Avengers was way better. I thought the overall main campaign was better. Story-wise, overall, I thought they did a better job. Suicide Squad was funnier. They definitely had some surprisingly good stuff in there, but overall, I enjoyed the Avengers story more. I thought it came together more at the end, and the story DLC was obviously just much better in Avengers. Yeah. Well, to be fair, they planned on giving us Captain Marvel. It's just, you know, they didn't plan on their studio being sold to the Embracer Group. And then their lead dev getting outed as a racist and getting himself fired. Spider-Man 2 is in America. Is American. This is the Tokyo show. Correct. Black Panther one was fun. Yeah, that was probably their best DLC, like overall. Obviously, when it launched, it was buggy as hell, but Black Panther was really good. The Wakanda map was awesome. I thought the story was pretty solid. They obviously put a lot in that, but I thought taking aim and Future Imperfect were really good as well. Like looking at it, having a Hawkeye and Kate Bishop back to back wasn't ideal from a gameplay perspective, even though the characters played differently. But I really enjoyed how they pieced those stories together, especially Hawkeye's. I thought Hawkeye's story DLC was really well done. The showcase we're watching is for Monster Hunter Wilds. This is a Monster Hunter Wilds special presentation at the Tokyo Game Show. Rivals is actually pretty fun. You don't really like PvP here. Hero shooters. Same. I've never played Overwatch ever, so I wasn't quite sure how much I'd enjoy Rivals, but I was hooked immediately. I can't wait to play Rivals again. Especially now. Not only did they add Winter Soldier and Captain America, but now they added Psylocke and they're about to add Moon Knight as well for launch. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. I've seen all the other characters they're adding. People are going to be freaking out when they hear about them. But yeah, I think when it comes to new characters, Rivals is definitely cooking. I hope they eventually have some PvE stuff. I think the way they made the game, it fits very well for PvE. And I think that'll definitely help the appeal of the game. But I understand that they're focused on making sure the PvP element is just, ironed out, because that's going to be the main draw of the game. Yeah, Sadot looks. I really love her design. PvP is nothing but sweaty losers. Knowing land shock players at Durags. I actually didn't play Jeff all that much because he's so squishy. Whenever I ran healer, I was usually running Rocket Raccoon or Adam Warlock. Otherwise, I usually was running Namor. My enemies called me Namor. Namor is what ended up being my favorite. I was going crazy on Namor. I think they'll add all of everyone's favorite characters to my Rivals eventually, including Deadpool. The Skywatch is pretty good. Everyone wants to do DPS. That's the problem with Rivals. That's the one problem with my Rivals. Everyone wants to run DPS. No one wants to run healer or tank. Like, everyone wants to just play the DPS, and then they get mad when they're not getting healed, because they don't understand, like, everyone can't run the same class. There has to be balance. You need tanks to block damage, and you need dives to pressure the healers, and you need healers to keep your characters alive. Like, there's no point of just everyone having DPS if you're never getting healed, and you're shooting. Like, it's so crazy. Like, you'll have people who just only pick DPS, and then they don't seem to understand that they're playing a team that is well balanced. So you have all these DPS that are just shooting into tanks' shields and getting nowhere, because even when they do damage, they're just getting healed. They're not putting any pressure on the back line. Like, it's really dumb. Yeah, playing Loki Warlock. I enjoyed Loki a little bit, but as the game went on, he fell out of favor for me. I ended up liking Mantis. She's pretty fun. I like how fast she is. Oh, they're definitely never invented. 100%. 100%. And it's deserved. Yeah, there's definitely a couple abilities that need a little tweak. Not too crazy, because, they're definitely characters that need a buff. But yeah, the Venom's overshield mechanic definitely needs to be toned down. Luna's ult as well. The duration of her ult needs to be brought down. This battle looks crazy. Is that a dragon? Like, at least Spidey's come back for healing. Scarlet definitely needs a nerf. I don't think she needs a nerf at all. Scarlet Witch isn't really a problem. Like characters that need nerfs are ones that are like S tier. There's nothing about Scarlet Witch that's S tier. Like the most dangerous thing about her is her alt, which is like really easy to stop. It's only her ult's only a problem if you're not paying attention, and like they're paired with Magneto. Like the Magneto and Scarlet Witch pairing was really the main problem, and that's only because of the Magneto shield. Like clever players will do stuff like put a shield on Scarlet Witch, and then have her pop her alt. But in general, she's pretty squishy. Her range is decent, but enough where she's vulnerable. Like there's really nothing that needs to be touched on Scarlet Witch. It's mainly the main issues really were Venom and Magneto's sword and Luna's ult. Those were like the biggest factors in the closed beta that were kind of just out of balance. Never been able to kill one monster on Monster Hunter. You ever get to do the strange portal into an alt? I did that with a storm. I stormed alt. I did the storm alt with the Doctor Strange portal. Pretty fun. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a really epic game to play with friends. This is really Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be crazy. Resist to complain, Tigers. I told us about with lightning. Holy crap! Yeah, Travis is crashing out. Tokyo Game Show is showcasing specific games. Tonight they showed Death Stranding 2, which comes out next. Monster Hunter Wilds is what we're watching right now. Monster Hunter Wilds comes out next year. February, pretty stacked February. Monster Hunter Wilds, Like a Dragon, Pirate Hawaii, and Assassin's Creed Shadows are coming out all the same month. The new Civilization as well. This is all in February. Overall Ben 10 game go hard. Wukong DLC in February. Is it? Is that actually confirmed, or you're just assuming? I heard 2025, but I haven't heard if they had like a specific time frame beyond that. Yeah, I don't see anything about it. Has Withering Rays shown up? Not that I've seen. To be honest, I wasn't looking for it anyway. I was only interested in the Capcom showcase, the Xbox showcase, and the PlayStation showcase. We watched a couple other ones the other day while we were waiting for the Capcom event to start. But in general, yeah, I was only interested in a few of the shows. Resident Evil 9, no, they're focused on Monster Hunter.
なんか今
ドンマイって出てたね
見間違いでなければ
見間違い
でしょ
They're probably saving Resident Evil 9 for the Game Awards.
ドンマイって出てたけどまあ
ような気がしますけど
危ないあの距離やべえな
I think the Game Award, because I hear Resident Evil 9 is supposed to come out in 2025 as well.
やばいやばいやばい
So the Game Awards kind of just makes sense as just a world premiere. Like you spend the Tokyo Game Show promoting and State of Play, promoting Monster Hunter Wilds, and then you close the year with Resident Evil 9. This looks sick.
次飛んだら先行入れてあでもここに来航中もいるから飛んであわ
Yeah, the design is crazy in this game.
飛べ飛べ飛べ飛ばないあそっち向いちゃう
あちょっといったで
お
They really did a great job on the monsters.
りょうさん何かあチャタカブラ来た
And the scale, and I really appreciate the scale of the fights.
が食らっただけみたいな
チャタカブラ何してんや
傷ついたのはチャタカブラでした
おっしゃナイスナイス
ナイスナイスナイス
チャタカブラ
チャタカブラ
Oh, another monster just popped in?
チャタカブラ逃げた
They got other monsters popping in? Holy.
かわいいな
Magic Dino Crisis on Unreal. Yeah, I saw Capcom did another one of those player polls. Yeah, there's a lot of Dino Crisis interest.
やばいだから落とし穴あります
I just want another Devil May Cry to keep it about. I want another Devil May Cry game.
よしよしよし
I love Devil May Cry.
もう一丁どっこいしょここおいでここおいでここなんで
This area fits perfectly as well.
もう絶対私の罠かかってくれないんですけど
Capcom's been overall cooking pretty hard the last couple years. I mean, I'd take a DMC1 remake. I'm not going to cap. I don't think it needs it, but I wouldn't say no to it.
ぶん投げちゃいましたさあどういう
I'd rather,
はい
actually they did a really good job on Village.
高い場所に
I mean, on the Resident Evil 4 remake,
あんまり実はお見せできてないので
and Village was okay, but yeah, if we're talking about a remake, not a remaster,
はい
結構ねこの
I'd be down for
おー
a earlier Devil May Cry remake. But if you're gonna remake one of them,
この辺まで1個だけじゃないんでね
I feel like it should be
まだまだいっぱい
Devil May Cry 3,
チャンスはいくらでもすごい
not Devil May Cry 1.
これねこういうふうに地形まで破壊
I think a Devil May Cry 3 remake would go crazy.
先行
But I want a proper sequel. I just want a new game.
ますんでちょっとみんな
Just give me an excuse to kill some stuff with Dante. I'm fine.
ペイント弾撃ちますよ
Devil May Cry 2 remake, make it a good game this time.
あやばちょっと待った
あー大丈夫ですか終わってない終わってない終わってない終わってない
I mean, I think honestly, Devil May Cry 2 is overhated.
あもうでもあったあったあったあった
こっち
いきますか危ない
I thought Devil May Cry 2 was a good game. I think it just unfortunately
びっくりした
launched in between two masterpieces. people just kind of hated on it from there.
できてる
But I think Devil May Cry 2, because I played them all a lot, multiple, and I feel like Devil May Cry 2 is a really fun game.
そっちですねそっちですね
If you go back and look at it, it's just that Devil May Cry 1 was so good,
飛んできました
and then Devil May Cry 3 was also so good that people just kind of just took a shit on Devil May Cry 2.
早っ早いな
Like, I don't think the gameplay was bad at all. I just think it just wasn't I just think it just failed to live up to like Devil May Cry 1.
ちょっと待てよ頑張ろ
Ooh. What was that? That movie was crazy.
う着
はい着にしますちょっと火力ナイスナイスナイス
You bought DMC Fast First Edition. Let's be honest here. We all know Virgil's the best son of Sparta. I mean, obviously, I like Dante better. I think Dante's a better character. But yeah, obviously, Virgil's cooler in terms of gameplay. Like, yeah, everyone would rather play as Virgil. like he can teleport and cut dimensions. They're cheating.
ということで、でも、まあ、レダウを討伐を目指す
I still think Dante has way more aura than Virgil.
時間がないんですよ。
Oh, look at the world. It's so good.
すいません。ということで、残念ながら
Auto work on the quest failed. That must have been a late game master. I know Travis will be triggered if he had the wrong squad and they failed. Yeah, I could definitely see myself no-lifing Monster Hunter Wilds based on how much time I spent on Dauntless. But 2025 is so packed, man. Oh my god. I'm glad Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out at the end of the month. Because I'm probably not going to play Like a Dragon. I'm going to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I'm probably going to finish it in like within a week. And then Monster Hunter Wilds drops at the end of the month. And I don't think there's anything scheduled after that that's like a big deal. So I'm just gonna have a bunch of time to play Monster Hunter Wilds. Hold up. Because the only video game I know that's in March is the PS5 version of Indiana Jones. Let's see. Yeah, February, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Civilization 7, Assassin's Creed Shadows, the 14th. Lost Records, Avowed is the 18th. I think that game's going to tank. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza, and Monster Hunter Wilds the same day. It's crazy. March. Let's see what's March. Atom Fall. Probably not playing that. Sakuden Remastered, Lost Records. Atelier Yumiya. Oh yeah, that one. Probably not playing that. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. Probably not playing that. And then there's the Indiana Jones PS5 version. Yeah, so I'm fine. We're good on March, unless they announce something crazy. April, Fatal Fury, Fantasy Life. Yeah, that's what's so scary. There's so many games that haven't got a release date yet. Yeah, but GTA 6 is supposed to be they're targeting fall 2025. Now we know none of the Sony first party games are coming before March. So we don't have to worry about Ghost of Yote or the unannounced first party PlayStation game that's also coming out in 2025. Probably doesn't like we have to worry about Death Stranding 2 as well. Gears of War, that's probably like later in the year. Yeah, I feel like the biggest games are going to be like we'll start seeing them around May. You know, start getting closer to that summer season. Maybe you'll have something in April. But I feel like those bigger games are going to be like deeper into the year. Can't believe Halo's dead. Rip. It'll be back on PlayStation. Gears of War on PS5 is gonna be crazy, right? Yeah, Fable on PlayStation is gonna be crazy. State of Decay. That's gonna be wild. Yeah, but it looks like for now, nothing is really big coming out after Monster Hunter Wilds for a little bit. So after the heated February, there should be some time to kind of sit back and enjoy, unless they start dropping unexpected stuff in March. Yeah, Xbox changed their strategy. They're releasing their exclusives on PlayStation. They announced this a while ago that they're shifting their strategy and not going to be focusing as much on exclusives anymore. Wonder when Rebirth of Souls will be. Is that probably 2025 as well? At this rate. Ukura looks so good. Oh yeah. I'm still mad there's a fighting game, but I would have been more mad if it was a mid fighting game, and it at the very least it looks cool. So they have that going for it. Doesn't look on the level of Sparking Zero, but it does look cool. I watched enough of the uncut gameplay. Wow, these monsters look crazy. Those set piece battles are nuts. Fighters, Souls. I disagree. I don't like fighters. Also not a big fan of Souls either. But I'd rather play a Souls light than a fighter most of the time. Josh was like, you want to become an artist and you suck at drawing. Why become an artist when you can just use AI to do it for you? You don't need to learn to draw, Travis. You can just have some AI image generator do it for you. Hunter game didn't look bad either. Yeah, another fighter. Can we get a action RPG adaptation of an anime, please? For once. Remember the anti-woke losers tried to cancel Monster Hunter Wilds? Yeah, that weirdo Grums took an image of that character right there, that female character with the blonde hair, and tried to say that Monster Hunter Wilds was woke and that all the women were ugly. He got destroyed so bad, he deleted his tweet and apologized. It was so funny. Yeah, he got completely exposed. Yeah, I don't want a Souls light. Just an action RPG, not a Souls light. I don't want a Souls light. I want an action RPG anime game. Open world action RPG. Based on anime. rather than a fighter or a Rita fighter or like there's too many fighters. So many fighters. Saying that girl is 100 out of 10 is that like, but it just shows these people don't do any research. They don't play or pay attention to these games. They're just trying to farm outrage, and they will spread as much misinformation as possible until they're called on it. So, what anime would I choose? So this is one of my favorite anime right now of 2024. It's probably not popular enough yet to convince Bandai Namco or anyone else to make a game out of it yet. But Wisteria Wand and Sword would be an amazing game because the story is basically like Harry Potter, but cool. Like it takes place in a magical world, ran by wizards, but it's got an interesting twist where above them is an artificial sky that's basically this magical seal that's holding in this really powerful dark force, and the strongest wizards in the world are part of a tower whose job it is to maintain the barrier and prepare in case they ever break through. So the big magic school, everyone's training so that they can one day ascend the tower, become one of the elite, or get a job in the world. And the main character, he's our Harry Potter. His childhood friend is one of the elite who got to ascend the tower, and he's trying to catch up to her. Except he's terrible at magic. He has no magic, basically. But he was born with like superhuman physical abilities. So because he can't use magic, he has to make up the credits that you get in school by fighting in the dungeon. They have a dungeon that you can have access to fight monsters, and killing monsters gets you credits. So he's primarily a melee sword fighter, but people underestimate him because he doesn't use magic. But because he's so fast and skilled, he can beat a lot of people who are using magic, and it's a really cool story. It's basically Mashal and like Black Clover, except he's not possessed or demonic because Black Clover, took that Naruto thing. Like they don't have any of the Naruto angles and stuff like that. He's a pure melee fighter. That's all. He's just a pure melee fighter. And it's a lot of fighting and it's really good. I think it would make a great game. But in terms of what they would actually adapt, because it's popular, I mean, I feel like actually they had that 7 Deadly Sins game that I don't know what happened to it, but that would have been dope. That open world 7 Deadly Sins game. My Hero Academia, I still feel like that would be peak. If we had like a open world story driven My Hero Academia game, playing through the main story, and then create your own hero, pick your quirk, advance through the hero course or whatever, or side with the villains. Like that would be a crazy game. That would be my ideal. Anime is called Wisteria Wand and Sword. You can watch it right now on Crunchyroll. It's, currently my favorite anime of 2024. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to stay up for the Dynasty Warriors one. I kind of just wanted to see a little bit of Sparking Zero, Silent Hill. I got to see the Undefeated demo. That was cool. Saw whatever the hell happened with the Death Stranding thing. And we closed it out with Monster Hunter Wilds. So I'll check and see if there's anything else, but otherwise, I think that's it for my Tokyo Game Show coverage. Thank you for everyone who's been hanging out. Next time, we're going to be covering Suicide Squad season 3. Surprisingly, we're still going. The Gotham season kicks off October 1st. That's Tuesday, and I'll see if there's anything special happening with New York Comic Con. I have to look into that a little bit more, see if there's anything potentially to look out for. Otherwise, Sparking Zero, the 10th. Well, starting on the 7th of early access. And then we got Dragon Age the Veilguard at the end of the month. Should be interesting. Yeah. Any news on Suicide Squad? Yeah, I just said it. October 1st. Make sure you tune into the stream. We're streaming Suicide Squad Season 3. The Gotham season. I made a video about it on the channel yesterday. We got our first look at Zoe Lawton, aka Lawless, the next Playboy character. Personally, I'm more interested in playing in Gotham on that Gotham map, especially with that new Mark Hamill Joker skin that they added last season. But we'll see if Lawless is interesting. Honestly, there's really nothing separating these characters apart from their traversal and their melee, but maybe she's interesting. We'll see. We'll do the usual thing, play through the new content, see if it's any good this time, and we'll see which new Justice League member we're rescuing this time around. Last season we rescued the Flash. We'll see who we rescue this time. I mean, Gotham, you would assume it's Batman, but we'll see. I'll catch y'all next time. Tomorrow is the podcast, so be on the lookout. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out. Peace.